Look at that
Struggling
defence.
to get mine. If you can get the stats up, mate, I'll keep the general stuff on because I can't get the login. You got the login?
It's in there. I've got the login somewhere. I'll write it down.
That's what I was given as a username and password.
Oh, I'll just double check, mate. Match day stats. Just see what we've got. Always keep the end of. Oh yeah. Stats with a exclamation mark at the end.
Is it? That's password or login or username?
The password. So the password's just got an exclamation mark at the end of stats. I'm just going to get it.
Try it. You do it on yours and I'll just have it.
NEAFL.stats and
I'll just have the app up.
2019 NEAFL.
Jesus, you're 140 to 45. That's a pizzling, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a good pizzling. Tell you what, no.
Enjoy yourself? Yeah, good.
Sorry, I'll just get one last.
Yeah. No problems. In for Manteet and Shears, Jack and Lee Dale, a boy from Yakandanda.
Okay. It's not letting me do it.
Maybe it's not the. I didn't see that.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I'll call up Paul and just see when they want
Try it
to go
without
live.
the exclamation.
Yeah.
2019
Is it?
NEAFL all capitals and stats underscore lowercase.
Hey, Paul, sorry, mate.
No,
I just wanted to,
neither.
are you going to
Nothing.
let me know when you want the components going live? Or
I might have to get Jess to do the stats.
JW? Hey, Jess. Sorry, Champ. Yeah.
Just might not work on your phone, but
Oh, okay. Well, I've tried NEAFL.stats. Yeah, and then it's
2019
2019.
capital NEAFL, then lowercase STATS, and then the exclamation. Which I didn't have.
yep. Save the password.
All you got to do is just have somebody leaning over. We will very, very shortly, mate.
Instagram, so just when you start the call, I'm just going to do it.
Just looking for, I can't see.
Okay.
My name's Blurryface. You've got the other results. All right. And welcome to the newly named Voxson Oval here at Graham Road, Aspley, for NEAFL Round 2. It is the Aspley Hornets versus the Southport Sharks. Another ripping game of NEAFL football for you this afternoon here in Brisbane. A magnificent day for footy. A little bit breezy, but we've got mid-20s as far as the temperature goes. So perfect conditions for footy, and the field looks an absolute treat. Michael Price with you, and the encyclopedia of Queensland footy is Mr. Bob Batty, who's joining me in special comments. Bob, should be a good game. It's going to be a tough one for Aspley.
Yeah, certainly will be. Looking forward to it though, Michael. Isn't it great to have footy up and running again, round 2 of the NEAFL? This should be a cracker of a game, I believe. They haven't won here for 7 years, Southport, so keep that in mind when you're doing your selections. But I think they've got the cattle on the park, these premiers from last year. They look as though they've recruited pretty well, and I think they could just get over the line today, Michael, in what will be a really contested game.
Aspley have just won the toss, and they'll be kicking to the clubhouse end, which is your left of screen here on NEAFL TV. Of course, it's been the scene of many a cracking game of football, has it, here at Graham Road, and we're not expecting anything different today. Southport with a big win in round 1 over Redland. Aspley going down to Sydney Uni in round 1, so they'll be looking for some redemption under new coach Daniel Webster. Umpire's got it down in the middle. Spencer versus Turner. Turner gets that one forward. Aspley at the foot of the pack. Ives just scrums it forward to half forward. It's going to hit the deck here, leading the charge there. Some good work there from Templeton, from Noosa. Kicks it towards the top of the square. Freeman at the back. Southport defender in Clark couldn't quite control it. It's heading towards the boundary line. And no, it didn't quite make it over. It has now. We'll get a throw in the left forward pocket. So the midfield is where it's going to happen for both sides today, Bob. Both have got good ruck stocks.
Yeah, they have. The late change, though, Michael Manteet's out and Kai Shears are out in Mentha and also Dale.
Changes for Southport as Turner hits it down to Boston. Could have caught one in the back. Umpire says no, nothing doing. Ball stuck underneath, and then Spencer picks it up, immediately tackled by Turner. There's a little bit of argy-bargy going on there. Liam Dawson and Boston. The umpire throws it up. Both ruckmen miss it. It's at the feet. Jed Turner just gets it. Foot to ball is Ives. And there's been a late hit there too. Ives had a shot. It was going through for a behind. Again, more argy-bargy there between John O'Giles, who's changed his number from 36 to 16 this year. And Southport, good fist forward from Ives on the outer side. The handball now Southport to Brodie Murdoch. He bites off a kick. All very well done. Hits Clements. That was a dangerous kick, but well hit in the end. The target, Williams now to half forward. Southport players just stood there and basically let Jordan Hayden get up and take the ball away. It ends up with Ives, who's had about 3 or 4 touches early on in the game. Outer side, inside 50, ill-directed kick, and it was just easily swallowed up by the Southport defence. That's where their strength is today.
Oh, yeah, their strength last year for their premiership was their defence. They really had a good back six, and they've hardly been unchanged this year.
Jamison Shea, interesting prospect from Footscray in the VFL, just got the ball there. He kicked 3 goals last week. Interesting player to watch too. Yeah,
good shape, good size. Has some wraps on him. Played for the Northern Knights at TAC Cup level. That's now called the NAB League, but as you said, played with Footscray in the VFL as well.
Throw in, Spencer versus Turner. Spencer gets this one down, but only to the foot of Turner. The big man gets buffeted by Ben Warren. Well done, Shaw, who got in, took the ball, but a tackle by Brandon Batchelor gets him over the line. And we will get a throw in. So very physical early. You wouldn't have expected any less.
No, first home game for the new coach, Daniel Webster. He would have been right into him throughout the week to really show some mettle.
Another throw in right in front of the NEAFL commentary box, thanks to our broadcast partner, Bar TV. It's smacked down back towards the boundary line. Clements hooks it around. Well read there by Payne. MVP3 takes it in the left back flank for Aspley. Just wants to settle things down a little. So Payne, monumental player as far as votes go. It holds up in the breeze. That's a strong set of hands from Jono Freeman. He wheels around onto the right shoe. Oh, he just didn't quite hit it hard enough there for Michael Hagan, the former NT Thunder player. Ball over the boundary line, another throw in.
Yeah, good signs though for Jono Freeman. That's a good strong mark. Just need to pinpoint the kick a little bit better. That wind is taking it across to this commentary side.
Yeah, probably going diagonally across the ground, favouring the the clubhouse end, left of screen. Matt Shaw now, under a lot of pressure, gets the handball away. Now is Murphy. He gets sharked by Fife, who promotes it forward. That's a good effort there from Jordan Arnold. Gets away now. Well done to Hayden. Good pass as well. Hits Ives. Ives has got... Oh, there was a bit of a hospital handball to Reece Toy there. He backs up his effort, does Ives. Now Murphy gets around. They're still on the ground there too. A little bit of a
Taylor,
blue.
I think, is the Southport man.
He's just not letting go of Ives as Gross promotes it towards the goal square. Oh, well done, Freeman. Good body work, takes a good strong mark. That's 2 really good contested marks early for Jono Freeman.
And he is a confidence player, the boy from Sunshine Coast, and got a good set of dukes, and he just needs to really convert here. They've been good, strong, physical, in their face of Southport. Southport, I'm sure, expected it, but they're having a crack.
Freeman decides to go around and hook it, and does beautifully. Gets his first goal of the game, and it is the first goal of the match here. Aspley Hornets, 1 straight 6 to Southport yet to score. We've played about 5 minutes here in the first quarter on NEAFL TV through Bar TV.
Yeah, look, I just noticed Matty Payne playing off that half back line. That obviously gives them with him and Gavin Gross back there, their defence has got plenty of experience, hasn't it? And Matty Payne held up that forward thrust there from the Sharks and went through, and they are very physical, aren't they? They're really in their face, and you know, they're here to play today, Aspley. They don't lose many at home. And the new oval, Voxson Oval. Let's hope there's no box on the way they're going there, Michael.
Well, there's been a little bit of angst between the two sides already. Southport, of course, last year's premiers and doing it on the bit. Now, Tyler Roos, the fly-in, fly-out Tyler Roos this season. We'll talk about that more later. Gets it inside 50. Bounces freely on Mitch Johnson. Handball off there. Now to Charlie Ford. Hooks it around and just one behind. So first score for Southport is the behind. 1 straight 6 to 1 behind after 6 minutes of the first term.
Dangerous Mitch Johnson, isn't he? The boy from Berwick and Northern Blues. Great goal sense. Part of the premiership team last year. Real dangerous forward.
Solid player as well. Spencer, good spoil from Jed Turner. Now Aspley with the ball. Liam Dawson gets the handball off. It's going to be intercepted though. Southport with the ball. Reece Clark after William Gowers kicked the ball down there. So Clark bites off a nice kick and finds Lee Dale, premiership player who was a late inclusion today. He couldn't find Seb Tape. The Tape wraps up his opponent there in Jordan Arnold. And it's going to be a ball up inside the centre square.
Really attacking the footy hard, Jordan Arnold, isn't he? Really good set of steam there at the footy.
Once again, the ruckmen go at each other, and this time it happens on the ground level. Unusual, and we'll get another ball up. Very physical between the two ruckmen in Turner and Spencer. Spencer now gets the good hit out. It's going to come through hands. Well done there, Gowers. Handball now out to Templeton. Left half forward. That's a good kick. Nice strong mark. Good set of dukes. The young man in Luca Mason. Lions Academy. He's a rookie listed Aspley player, Luca Mason. Kicked a goal last week as well. He puts it inside 50. It's a bit of a floating sack. Oh, big fly, Murphy. Couldn't quite take the ball, but he butters up, gets on top of it, tackled, and will get a ball up 45 metres out. He's an interesting prospect too, Billy Murphy. 3 goals on debut last week from Box Hill. Yeah,
they need some other targets, don't they? Don't just kick it long to Freeman. That was good work from Aspley.
Spencer couldn't quite kick it, and then eventually does in the second attempt. Southport in Miller it was, who dived in there. Just listening to some of the boys yell out downstairs, they said, we'll take him around the ankles. And basically, he rolled into the legs there. That's a contentious rule, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, very much so at AFL level, isn't it?
So, ball up, Turner. He gets it out there. Hampton controls it beautifully. Gets it up around his ankles. Warren outside of the shoe. The big man. There he is again. He's just reading it nicely.
Murdoch, is it?
That is Murdoch. Nice kick out here to Jamison Shea. He gets confronted by Gavin Gross. They take it over the boundary line. We'll get a throw in. Yeah, so really stocky defenders that the Southport have got down there outside of their ball users in Shaw. So like Brodie Murdoch as well. Very, very dependable.
Yeah, and you've got Ryan Davis. You've got Jordan Taylor. They've got plenty of size down there, haven't they?
Absolutely. As Ives comes out of the clearance, just lobs it up towards half forward. Fist forward by Tom Miller. Shaw tried to rove, tackled off it by Templeton. Ball stuck underneath several of them. We'll get another ball up here very shortly. So it's really tight in the clinches. Played nearly 9 minutes of the first quarter. Aspley lead by 5 points. 1 straight to 1 behind. Hampton roves it nicely, but still couldn't quite get away. Smothering effort. Now Gowers. Back onto the right foot. Dangerous position to put the ball top of the square. Big fly. That's a great grab at the front there for Southport by Seb Tape. Magnificent saving mark and a dangerous kick to a 2-on-1. Mackenzie Willis did well to pick it up around his ankles and then give it back, and they're going to be out here. Jack O'Shea. It's back to Tate. Sorry, it was back to Murdoch, and he put it out wide, though. We're just singing his praises before. He's kicked it straight out in the full. Gavin Gross, what a veteran, great player he is. Long left foot kick, big pack off the hands of Freeman. Murphy roves it well, gets tackled immediately, gang tackled in fact. He can't get rid of the ball. Ryan Davis on top of him. Another ball up inside, attacking 50 for Aspley. So they're spending plenty of time down there, Bob.
Yeah, they are. They've just got to open up that forward line a bit. Give Freeman and little Billy a bit more space. Speaking of Billy, there he goes. Look at that.
How about the space from Billy Murphy? Well called. That's why he's the encyclopedia of football here in Queensland, Bob Batty. That's exactly what needed to happen. Billy Murphy needed to get in and under on that ball up, and he did beautifully. 3 goals on debut last week, and he's got his first for the day. Aspley now with their second. 2 straight 12-1 behind after 10.5 minutes of the first quarter.
Yeah, things are looking good for Aspley at the moment. They're winning the ball at ground level, aren't they? We spoke to the plaudits of Southport's midfield last week in their big win over Redland, but haven't had much of the footy at ground level at this stage, and they need to pick up. Sure, Boston, Little Fife, all those smaller players. But isn't he really quick, young Murphy, and got a real burst of speed?
Got some toe. James Ives with seven disposals to lead all comers at the moment. That's a cracking start to a game of football after 10 minutes. Now Murphy, handball over the top to Hampton. This could hurt. Puts on the afterburners. Goes in from 30, and Lonnie Hampton kicks a beauty for Aspley. That was just sheer pace. Third goal, 3 straight 18-1 behind. 2 quick ones for Aspley after 11.5 minutes of the first quarter.
Yeah, that'll really lift it. It's lifted the crowd. The Aspley faithful there in front of the grandstand love that one as it sailed through goalpost high. But it's been their pace, hasn't it? And again, it was the little fellow, William Murphy, the boy from Box Hill in the VFL. Power and speed is what he's got, and he showed it there. And the bloke you handballed it to in gold has got just as much speed.
He's no slouch when it comes to putting on some toe. Lonnie Hampton, experienced footballer as well. So this is the start that the Hornets really would have loved to have, and it's manifesting for them at their home ground.
It will be a 3 to 4 goal breezo, won't it, I believe, left of screen, so they need to keep consolidating.
Just watching behind the play there, Liam Dawson all over Boston in the centre of the ground. Now, free kick has gone from the umpire that was behind the play. It's going to go to Reece Toy by the looks of things.
Yeah, it must have been a hole there in the pack somewhere that we didn't see, but...
there's plenty of it going on, mate, at the moment. Midfielders really giving each other a going over now. It's a nice kick over to Ben Warren. It's probably just bounced a little bit too far. He's confronted, gets the handball over to Templeton. Templeton tries to measure it. Freeman at the back. At the front, Stackelberg has a snap. Oh, just to the left of the goal post. Beautiful bit of roving from Connor Stackelberg, and one behind. So the first blemish on Aspley's scoreboard, 3-1, 19-1 behind. They're 3 straight in front. Yeah,
Mark, that should have been taken, though, in defence from Southport. They're under the pump down there, and they'll need to really stick together.
They certainly are, Bob. Ball on the outer side. It's coming away now through Baru. Gross at the back for Aspley, punches it forward. Now they'll be able to get it through. Big Will Walbers can't pick up that handball. Coming through doing well was Jack O'Shea for Southport. Williams, his handball cut off. Was it John O'Giles, who's just about had his strides pulled down as he gets the handball away. Arnold now goes back in defence. Matthew Payne, interesting role for him as well.
Behind the footy, kicking with a slight breeze. Not a bad move there from Daniel Webster. It takes him out of the contest in the midfield, which will hurt them, but very, very solid in defence.
John O'Giles just handed it over on a platter to Josh Williams. He tries to sell the dummy, puts himself in a lot of problems. Gets the handball away. Obviously, Reece Clark is put under a lot of pressure. Now, enter Mitch Johnson. He rides a bump on each side. He doesn't care. Kicks it towards the 50 arc. Clements roves beautifully. Tries to get the handball out. Now, Ruse gets it back to the young man in Mantha, who's the late inclusion. Coming back, Jack Stanley now for Aspley. Handball back to Payne, goes one way then the other, and look at that class. Gets the handball over to Ben Warren, over to Gowers, and that should be out here. Gowers measures the kick into the middle of the ground. Hagan, under a lot of pressure, gets the ball out wide to Hampton. That's a lovely weighted kick. It just goes over the head of Billy Murphy, though. Geez, that wind did carry it over, and Murphy got over the shoulder of Tom Fields. I thought that was a great kick, but just carried over with that breeze.
Yeah, it's just a little bit breezier than what we predicted at the first bounce. It's picked up a little bit. Nice kick from Fields.
And Baru, former Suns Academy player, kicks it towards the forward 50. O'Shea couldn't quite take it. Johnson in there as well. Aspley defence. That was a 2-on-1 there that they could have actually swallowed the Southport boys. They didn't do so. We'll get a ball up 45 metres out from their goal.
Yeah, they've dropped a lot of overhead marks that normally, probably last week, they probably would have taken. But under the pressure that Aspley are providing, they're not holding them today.
Walbers, Templeton, did well. Oh, his handball got sharked by Shaw. Shaw now just whacks it onto the boot and it wobbles over the boundary line, out of bounds on the full. So Matt Payne will get another kick. I'd love to have $1 for every time I've said that in NEAFL commentary. Matt Payne gets a kick.
Yeah, you'd be up for a few dollars if you owed him money.
Exactly right. MVP3 kicks it long down the outer side, rising above the pack. And at the back there was Mason, though. Overshoots the kick. Southport will cover it up through Miller. He's got plenty of time. Boy, puts his teammate in Taylor under pressure, but he gets it back out to Shaw now, and they settle things down. Beautiful day here in Aspley for round 2 of NEAFL footy. That's Shaw's kick. Well, his intended target fell over and then got up and actually kicked it back inside 50. So it worked out nicely. 2-on-1. A lot of pressure there on Jasper Craven, and he did really well. Did really well to take that through and knock it through for a behind. Southport with their second. So it's 3-1-19 to 2 behind, 17 points.
Yeah, great work, Jasper Craven. He had the goal sneak right behind him, Mitch Johnson. He was ready to pounce, that's for sure.
Gavin Gross using all of his experience there. Could have got a free kick for holding the man. Mantha comes in for Southport. Stocky is young Mantha from the from Bell Park area in Victoria.
Yeah, initially from Horsham and played at Bell Park last year. So another new recruit for the Southport Sharks.
So Hall's in the ruck now. Goes up against Spencer. It's roved there yet again by Ives, but he hoiks it up in the air and the wind takes it over the boundary line. Out of bounds on the full right in front of us here in the NEAFL commentary position. Of course, we're here through our broadcast partner Bar TV, Michael Price and Bob Batty calling your action today. That was just all a little bit too tricky by half for Jordan Taylor. He outsmarted himself. The ball in front of us now. Jack Stanley got it out. Stackelberg, well done. Giles to Toy to Warren. Warren, oh, how's that for an interception by Matt Shaw? It was a no-look interception. Well done. Boy, it's some tough footy here. There is no clear kicks coming through. Giles tackled one either side. Ball over the boundary line. Ripping physical footy for NEAFL TV round 2 right here at Aspley at Voxson Oval.
We just had Jordan Taylor go off just in this tackle down here. He got a real big whack to the head. He got the helmet on, but really stunned him and he's off the ground.
Spencer, shark by Dale. And Dale's partially smothered kick taken by Payne. He just pops it up, a little 9-iron in the middle, and Billy Murphy controls it nicely by hand. Handball to the run of Will Walbers, who puts it to the top of the square. Will it float? It's touched, and it's wide anyway, one behind. Thought we would have had something spectacular there from the big engineer, Will Walbers.
Yeah, no, again, Murphy, very dangerous up there, isn't he? Wins the ball at ground level probably 4 or 5 times already. He's a danger for the Southport defence.
Now, pace is such a weapon, isn't it, Bob? Especially in forward 50. Now, it's Shaw. He tries to measure that kick to Fife, who did well to get rid of Ives and then watch the ball in his arms. Now, Dylan Fife, Tasmanian boy. It. Really well done. And it happened right in front of us here in front of the commentary box, Bob. The attack on the ball by Jack O'Shea was the big difference in that passage of play.
Yeah, very good attack on the footy and good hands over to the back and big long kick from Jack Menta. That'll give him a bit of confidence, as well as if Manuel Baru can put forward Southport's first goal and his first for the day.
And his first in Southport colours, former Sons Academy player. He goes left. He allowed too much for the win, Bob.
Yeah, high ball drop, wasn't it, Michael? You just need to, with that breeze going, you just need to cut your losses and keep that ball a bit lower. But that's a bad miss, and Southport need to steady you there.
They certainly did. 3-2-20 to Aspley, 3 straight behinds to Southport, 27 points the margin. Spencer, back of hands now. Lonnie Hampton, Jono Giles just kicks it straight down the throat of the Southport player. A bit of miscommunication between he and Freeman. Now Southport go back to forward 50. Gavin Gross, once again, showing all of his class and experience. And as soon as you wrap him up like that, he kicks a mung bean. There's Craven, though, making it look good. Ben Warren. He puts it over the top now. It's Josh Williams. He gets it back to Baru. Johnson. Oh, Johnson overcooks the handball for Mentha. And it's a great tackle on Jamison Shea there too. Who was responsible for that? Was that Gavin Gross? Once again, the veterans leading the charge there for Aspley as well. And another rush behind for Southport. That's 4 of them to 3-2 for Aspley.
Yeah, missed opportunity there for Southport. They had the numbers, didn't they? And two missed handballs running into open goal there, and very costly.
This is going to be a good contest. Spencer versus Turner. Floating across, Liam Dawson could have been paid the mark. Tom Fields now kicks it inside 50. Payne for Aspley in front, directs it towards Giles. Mentha, shrugged off Giles and kicks it inside 50. Good strength, the young man. Johnson did well to spoil that ball. Then butter up. Gives it back to O'Shea. No O'Shea, just Shea. Ball underneath several of them, 30 metres out. We'll get another ball up.
Yeah, they're under the pump every time they get the footy in that forward line, aren't they, Southport? They're looking for the contact as they're picking the ball up.
Spencer buffered it out. Oh, well done by Shea. Hooks it around. It's well taken there, though, by Daniel Henderson. Maroochydore boy chips it over now to Gowers. Gowers now Batchelor. Batchelor to run. Back to Gowers. He's got a couple of players here. Tentative bounce. Well done by Roos to put a lot of pressure on. Now Ives loops a handball to Hampton. Pace again. Hampton now looking for Big Will. Walbers finds him right 45. Then kicks it towards the top of the square. Southport now. They've got plenty on in defence, and they managed to get it out through Williams. Now Boston. Boston to the outer side, hits Mitch Johnson. He gets away. And if he does get away, they could be in trouble. He kicked 5 last week, Johnson. Kicks it long inside 50. And it was set for him for Josh Hall. Over the top to Shaw. And Shaw, Jason Dunstall will be out there saying, there's the dribble, when a decent drop punt could have been a lot better.
Much better play from Southport. It just didn't quite finish it off. Yeah, okay. Sorry, Michael. Bit of a problem there with the microphone, but yeah, much better move from Southport. And look, they're starting to win possession, but they're just not hitting their targets up forward, are they?
No, they're not. They're just...
We should stand to attention and do a big clap for the great Mayor Winks, who's just finished a career with another big win.
Oh, well done.
And that's 33 wins in 25 Group 1. So Australia, salute a champion.
Well done. There's the sporting champion right there. Now, it's Ives who keeps the ball in. No, he doesn't. It will be a throw in. So, was it a come-from-behind effort from Winks down the outside?
I didn't hear all the race, only heard the last little bit, but she had the plaudits of everyone at the course and put it to rest with by about 2 lengths in the end. A great win.
Oh, great story to finish as well. Now, Reece Toy. Just hacked forward there by Henderson. It bounces back towards Southport's goal. Ives can't pick it up. It was Dale who kicked it out of his hands. Dale to Roos. Roos to Johnson. Johnson. That's a great kick from Tyler Roos. Really had to be pinpoint and was.
Yeah, certainly so. Certainly so. It was a beautiful kick. He was on the boundary line in a sort of a non-scoring area and centred the ball very, very well. And Johnson fell into his arms in the end. But, fantastic kick. And you would back him from there. It looks like they're going to, at long last, kick their first goal at the 24-minute mark.
We'll see what happens here, though, Bob. Well, goal umpire had to do a bit of work, but he does. So Southport are on the board with a major, and it comes from Mitch Johnson. Aspley still lead it, though, by 9 points, 3-2-20 to 1-5-11. We've played 24.5 for the first term on NEAFL TV through our broadcast partner, Bar TV.
Yeah, look, they've certainly won the first 15 minutes, Aspley, but the last 10, Southport have got themselves back into the contest, haven't they? They're starting to at least share the spoils at ground level, and they're running a little bit more into the breeze, and they've had plenty of opportunities to kick a few, and they've at long last got one on the board there through Mitch Johnson, the sharpshooter. So, look, they're back in the game. I think it's a 2 or 3 goal breeze left of screen, so pretty much line ball after that 10-minute spurt.
So Turner and Spencer call that one a draw. Batchelor comes through, can't quite pick it up. He's on hands and knees, tackled by Dale. Ruse to Turner. Turner just hacks it inside 50. That's not bad policy, especially when you've got Mitch Johnson belting around there. Great defensive work, though, from Jordan Arnold next to Johnson. Takes it over the boundary line, right in front of the scoreboard. Get a throw in.
Yeah, he's got his hands full, though, hasn't he, Jordan Arnold? He's a real elusive player, Mitch Johnson, and a real worry for their defence.
Once again, Turner comes up, smashes it forward. Ball drops over the boundary line, and they are into Andrew Boston at every possible opportunity, the Aspley players, and he's really not been setting the world on fire at the moment, is Boston. Just have a look at those stats for you in a moment as the ball comes straight towards a commentary box. Mackenzie Willis almost ends up underneath the building there. Almost got buried.
Couple of tough nuts there, Mackenzie Willis and Connor Stackelberg. You wouldn't want to owe them any money.
Oh, absolutely. Andrew Boston's only had the one touch so far. They're right into him in the midfield are the Aspley players, as Luca Mason is a little bit injured behind play. Umpire's pulled out a free kick. It's going to go to Michael Hagan, the former NT Thunder player. Chips it inside 50, and that's a hell of a lot of running from a man who does a lot of running. And Reece Toy gets down and takes the mark basically 35, 40 metres out, directly in frontish.
Yeah, look, plaudits there to Luca Mason. Put his body on the line there. He was under the pump. The Southport player, Jordan Taylor, much bigger and stronger. Looked like he was going to mark it, and he put his body in the road. He's hurt for it, but it could end up with a goal, and it does.
That's a great kick from Reece Toy. Gets his first goal. The Aspley Junior in this week after missing last week's round one. Has a nice steadier for Aspley, 4-2-26 to 1-5-11. Just having a look at some of the stats here. James Ives has had 10 touches so far in this first quarter, really leading from the front. As I said before, Andrew Boston, he's just getting hammered in and around the midfield stoppages. He's only got the one touch so far. Matt Shaw leading the charges with Mitch Johnson for Southport with 6 apiece.
Yeah, good start by James Ives. Playing on the wing, he's played on both sides of the ground so far. He and Warren, some good matchups, isn't it? Warren on Shaw at the moment, and Ives on the big boy and Josh Williams, very fast.
Quality footballers, as there could have been a free kick there, and it'll go to Andrew Boston. As we said, he's getting some very close attention. Liam Dawson being responsible for a lot of that in the stoppages. And Boston gets the kick now. Just fires a pass to Fife. You can see as Boston was running, Liam Dawson just kept looking not at the play, but back at Boston as the play went up inside 50. And that's a really nice mark. And that's taken by Jack Shea. Oh, sorry, no, Jack O'Shea. I've got to stop doing that. It's Jamison Shea and Jack O'Shea.
Yeah, they're very close, similar names, isn't it? But, yeah, the boy from Broadbeach, he played 19 games over the last couple of years, so in and out of the side, but this is an important kick.
Let's go from about 47. He pops it up, gives the goal umpire some work to do, and they kick their 6th behind, so it adds up to 2 goals, but it's 1-6 for Southport, 4-2-26 to Aspley. It's 14 points the margin late in the first term.
Look, just to back to that Dawson and Boston duel, like it... I hear what you're saying. He's got to really mind him and playing close, but he's still got to watch the footy, in my opinion, not turn his back on the footy.
Oh, that's a good aerial contest between Freeman and Tate. Freeman won it out, though. Did beautifully to Templeton. Now to Warren. Chips it forward. Reece Toy. Handball into the run of John O'Giles. He's got Walbers open, and he overcooks the kick. It bounces for Big Will. He gets back onto the left shoe, and that's a wobbly pass to Stackelberg. I love it. Big Will Walbers. He's got the turning circle of a B double, but he turned around and just got Stackelberg with that wobbly sack of a kick.
Well, 3 or 4 years ago, he wouldn't have been able to even land it on his foot, on his left foot, to kick it back like that. So great work in Big Will Walbers, and this is an important kick, isn't it?
It is. The siren has gone. This to extend the lead. Reece Toy starts it right, and it stays there. One behind. But they still have the lead at quarter time to Aspley. 4-3-27 to 1-6-12. So it's a 15-point margin at quarter time. And we will have a very close look at those stats very quickly, in that James Ives is the leading all-comers from both clubs. He's had the 10 disposals in that first term. For Matthew Payne has also had 5 for Aspley. We've had Lonnie Hampton, John O'Giles and Murphy have also had 5 touches, along with Reece Toy. Goal kickers, you've got Jono Freeman's got 1, Murphy's got 1, Hampton has got 1, and Toy has 1 for Aspley. The only goal kicker is Mitch Johnson for Southport. They've kicked 6 behinds as well. For Southport, Matt Shaw's got 6 touches, Mitch Johnson with 6, Lee Dale with 5, and Brodie Murdoch, Tyler Roos, Josh Williams with 4 apiece. Just having a look at the hit-outs, and that is something we've been looking at with the 2 ruckmen, Bob. Aspley leading the hit-outs 17-7, but as we said last week, they won the hit-outs against Sydney Uni by 39, and they still lost the match, and they lost a lot of the clearances. Southport got flogged in the ruck last week, but they still won the midfield. So it's a big question about the effectiveness of those hit-outs, whether they're to advantage of them.
Yeah, certainly so. And it's just, I suppose, the depth of your midfield is so important, isn't it? Doesn't matter who gets a hand on it, the tap-out. It's who gets it at ground level, so important. But look, good start from Aspley. They're here to play today. Southport haven't won here for 7 years, so look, it's a big task for them, but they've fought their way back into the game. Very erratic, though. 1 goal, 6. That could come back to bite them a little bit, but good start from the Hornets at home here at Voxson Oval.
Yeah, round 2 NEAFL TV through our broadcast partner, Bar TV. We'll be back very, very shortly with the second quarter. It's going to be a cracker. It is Aspley at Voxson Oval at quarter time by 15 points.
So I was too far away, was it?
Yeah.
Got to be closer?
And welcome back to Voxson Oval here at Aspley, Graham Road in Brisbane at quarter time. Aspley leading 4-3-27 to Southport 1-6-12. It's Michael Price and Bob Batty calling all of your action for NEAFL TV through our broadcast partner Bar TV. Umpire could have recalled that bounce. Jed Turner benefited from it. Kick inside 50. Aspley with numbers. There's a free kick though, and it's been called by the umpire furthest back away, about 100 metres from the play. The umpire, who was 2 metres from the play, didn't call it. It's all about
strange
perspective.
one.
Well, it's going to go to Josh Hall. It's going to go for high contact. That was the indication made by the umpire. So Josh Hall, gee whiz, what a versatile athlete he has been. Former junior national high jump champion, Penrith NRL, Gold Coast Suns AFL.
You name it, he's done it.
He's had a crack at most things. Good luck to him as well. He's going to have a crack at this one from 45. Right shoe, and that's a beautiful conveyance, but he's just not aimed to the right goalpost. Did you see that wind just push it across the face? It's another wasted opportunity. Southport 1-7-13.
Yes, I think the Aspley coaching staff were asking for a recall bounce there. It was seemed to favour Jed Turner as young Mentha's gone too close to the man in the mark.
Yep, under the new rules, you've got to be a little bit further back from the player kicking in from the goal square, and that's a reasonably short 50. It's Gavin Gross, chips it in the middle to Michael Hagan. Sweeps a handball to Ben Warren, who was stationary, but made it look good. Wheeled around, kicks it inside 50. Good pack of players form. At the front of the pack, Toy can't pick it up. Well done, Ruse. Got it to Fife. He puts it straight up in the air. Mackenzie Willis versus Craven. Ball goes down. There's Mackenzie Willis in there as well. He's a former Gold Coast Suns player. Has the ball.
I noticed Boston actually off the ground for the start of that quarter, and Mackenzie Willis has gone into the midfield.
So Boston's just crept back on in front of you, Bob.
Okay.
He's just out there with Liam Dawson, who's
Back on?
Back
Oh.
on. He's like a vest, Liam Dawson. He's just wearing it. Here's Boston. Now Clements did well. Physicality. Mackenzie Willis can't control it. James Ives, touch number 11, kicks it forward just by a metre or two. Jed Turner, the big fella, goes in there for Southport, and Payne for Aspley. We're going to get another ball up in the centre square.
Liked a couple of the newcomers. Thomas Templeton I liked very much for Aspley in that first quarter, playing on ball and half forward, and we mentioned Will Murphy. So a couple of really good signings there for Aspley, and Hagan showed a bit of pace as well.
Another free kick there has been pulled out. That'll go to Rob Clements. He's going to come out a little bit wider. That's a terrible kick. He's looking for his teammate there in Clark, but he basically handed it to Aspley. Now Ives kicks it towards Walbers, gets the handball away. That was all he needed to do, was put it in the path of Hampton, who then squares it up, gives it there to Michael Hagan. And that was just really well done by the big man in Will Walbers. He didn't need to finesse. He just needed to get the ball in the path of Hampton. Did so, and he drilled it to Hagan. Good stuff.
Yeah, terrible kick there, wasn't it, from Rob Clements from the set play here on the point of the square, and turnover. And as you said, they just did the things that they had to do. And Walbers is an ungainly looking forward, but he's been effective.
So here comes Hagan. Oh, he just, again, went for the middle of the goal when you've got to actually look at the left goal post from that angle, and a behind result. So 4-4-28 to 1-7-13. It's back to that 15-point margin as at quarter time. Long kick in. It's a hell of a long kick in, and it's actually gone over the boundary line untouched. It will be a throw in, but because he played on, it's no
Yes,
longer a free
with
kick
that new
anymore.
rule now, it's no longer a free kick, but got to the wing, that kick from Fields. It just shows you this. One, the strength of Tom Fields kicking on that left foot. He's a surgeon, and secondly, the bruise. It's really kicking in.
It's going to be a free kick here. No, it's going to be another throw in. He's going to have to go in a little bit further, this one, because he's basically throwing into the teeth of a breeze. I get a good look at it here at NEAFL TV. It's a bit better. It holds up in that breeze again. The umpire said we're going to have another one. The players are asking the boundary umpire to go in by a couple of steps. I can't see why he can't. So we're going to have a third attempt. It lobs in about the same spot. Turner kicks it inside the centre square. Reading it nicely was Payne. Got the pop-up handball to Warren. Warren now Was feigning for the free kick, methinks. Didn't happen. Ives, his handball's going to be turned over. It's picked up by Hall. Handball, Johnson and Gavin Gross. Now, wasn't a percentage kick. It went out of bounds on the full, but he's still going to have to kick it a hell of a long way into that breeze from there to make it score. So perhaps a percentage play.
Yeah, look, I don't think he intended to kick it so far, but he wanted to get his foot on the ball. But there's a nice little chip pass there from Mackenzie Willis, who uses the ball very well, doesn't he?
He does. He's got some class on him, and he kicks it towards another bloke who's normally a sharpshooter, Mitch Johnson. He's the only goal scorer for Southport so far, and he's going to line up for his second. Now, he's going to have to hit the right goalpost from this angle, Bob.
Yeah, look, tough kick. If it was anyone else, you'd say no, but for Johnson, he is a goal sneak, and the two misses that we've just seen, he's just as likely to put this through from the boundary.
He's holding it for a drop punt, which is interesting. Now he comes around and curls it.
No.
See how the wind has just taken that. That's barely survived for a point. He's got that. 1-8-14. Wasting their chances, the Sharkies, as Aspley bring the ball back in. Gavin Gross looking for Ives and or Warren. Hits Warren right next to the boundary line. Warren measures a pass. Well done, Dawson. Former Brisbane Lions player as well. Premiership winner in the NEAFL with the Brisbane Lions.
Yeah, certainly did. Young boy from Redcliffe initially. Was a gun junior at Redcliffe and the Northern Raiders.
Stackelberg goes down the line. Jed Turner in the role of rover. Handball to Dale. Mackenzie Willis to Roos to Dale. Now Dale's going to kick it in the direction of Hall. At the back, Johnson read it best. Now he just gets it on the toe instinctively, and it rolls for another goal. There you go. Don't think about it, Mitch. Just get it on the shoe and roll it towards the goal. Well done. They get their second, and he gets his second. So it's Aspley 4-4-28, Southport 2-8-20. Back to an 8-point ball game.
Yeah, the ball magnets are starting to get their hand on the footy, aren't they? Mackenzie Willis, we mentioned. Tyler Roos. You got Matt Shaw. Lee Dahl around the midfield. They're just starting to get their hands on the footy at ground level. So key time here for Aspley. They've got to respond. They've got to kick some goals into this breeze and keep that slender lead that they've got of 8 points.
So Mitch Johnson now with the 8 touches and the 2 goals won. Is a focal point up forward for the Southport Sharks, who unfurled their premiership flag in their win against Redland last week. Redland responded this week with a huge win of their own over Sydney Uni out at Scottsdale Park.
Yeah, massive result there for Redland and Phil Carsey's first win at NEAFL level as a coach. It was a 60-point win, for Redland over Canberra Demons, and Sydney Uni had a huge win of 83 points over NT Thunder.
Gee whiz, they're looking pretty strong, Sydney Uni, aren't they? We saw what they did with Aspley last week as Andrew Boston gets a free kick for some close attention. It's been happening between Liam Dawson, Brandon Batchelor, any Aspley hard-bodied midfielder that can get near Andrew Boston. They're doing so, and they're putting him off his game at the moment. It's a long kick from El Mucho, though, inside 50. Gross at the back, smashes it forward. Matt Shaw's going to rove it. Sweeps a handball out wide. Now it's going back inside 50. Another pack will form. Over the back, it just went over the back of everybody. Spencer basically. Handball now to Ives. Now they're going to clear it. It's going to come back. Hampton now has got his hands full there with Brodie Murdoch, who did well. Now here's the man. Here's Jamison Shea. Gets it now to Shaw. Shaw! Now Matt Shaw, he wasn't going to miss that. Too classy for him. And Southport get their 3rd goal. So it's really tightening up, as we expected with the breeze. They're coming back. It's only 2 points the margin, 4-4-28 to 3-8-26. 9 minutes gone to the second term.
Yeah, well done Brodie Murdoch then. The ball was coming out on the defensive side here of the ground. He was tackled by a couple of Aspley players that managed to get that handball in that ended up getting right over the back. And good work from Jamison Shea. He's a nice mover, isn't he? The boy from Northern Knights and Footscray VFL, and a great finish from a guy that can finish and kick a lot of goals this year in the NEAFL, I'm sure, in Matt Shaw.
He got 9 MVP votes last week, did Matt Shaw. He's always started this game well. Boston with another touch. Another clearance, bounces it inside 50. Aspley are going to be hard-pressed with this one. Gavin Gross leading the charge. Clements puts his body in. Well done, Henderson. Surrounded, gets the ball out there to Craven. Handball back to Gross. Gross right against the boundary line, kicks long. Big pack of players at the back. Went through the hands of Reece Clark. It ends up back in his hands. Player in Josh Hall is feeling his head after that one. Mitch Johnson controlled it, and he plays on inexplicably. Handball now is taken by Payne. Back to Warren. There was an opportunity there for Mitch Johnson to slow down and have a shot at goal there, Bob, methinks.
Yeah, well, look, he had a bit of an attempt from that pocket before, didn't he? And did a bit of a boomerang, so maybe he was not confident. But, yeah, poor handball in the end.
Mackenzie Willis did well, cut it off and then butted up. Unfortunately, his kick missed Baru. Aspley now. Gowers. Handball over to Payne. Payne on the outer side of Voxson Oval. Goes and hits Billy Murphy. He's got way too much pace for Josh Hall in that particular contest. And he shows him a clean set of heels. Sells the big dummy. Kicks it inside 50. Pack of players form. Oh, Reece Toy's gone up and spoiled his own player in Jono Freeman. Hurt himself too in the process. Andrew Boston now clears. Aspley, well done. Ben Warren, that is courageous. He knew that there was a player coming, got up there and fisted the ball over the boundary line for a throw-in. But that was a goal beckoning to happen. What Reece Toy is doing jumping up there, I do not know.
Yeah, and also the voice, though, from Jono Freeman should have said, get out of my road, Reece.
Oh, yeah, I tell you what, it wouldn't happen with certain forwards I know. You'd end up with a rib come poking through as Boston goes in there. Jono Giles on top of him and Liam Dawson. So, again, that contest is really providing some angst for Southport in the midfield. Walbers, Hall did well to get around Walbers, get it down to Fife, who copped one high, tried to let the umpire see it, nothing happening. The two number 16s go at each other. Lee Dale over the top of Jono Giles, and we'll get a ball up right in front of the NEAFL commentary position. Michael Price and Bob Batty on NEAFL TV through our broadcast partner, Bar TV. Walbers slaps it down. Tyler Roos buffeted over the interchange gates, and another throw in front of us with Aspley leading by a couple of points.
Yeah, the boy from Bribey Island, Jono Giles, he's a real unit, isn't he? And free kick there to Brandon Batchelor off the ball. Who was that against?
It was either Lee Dale or Andrew Boston, mate. So it's working. Your mate, Jono Giles from Bribey, he's getting right under the skin of the Southport Sharkies midfield. And that's the kind of play. You can't teach that. That's in your makeup as a player, or it's not.
No, definitely right. He's come from, a sort of a lower level of footy and really worked hard to get his opportunities, not letting anyone get in his road.
Well done in Murphy. Oh, just puts on the little sidestep and shuffle, kicks it inside 50. That's a really good defensive effort there from Tape. Ball spills. It's kicked towards the boundary line. Ben Warren takes it over the boundary line. We'll get another throw in.
Yeah, really evened up this game now, hasn't it, as a contest? 2 points of difference, and Aspley looking for a goal into the breeze just to steady things down a bit. Southport looking as though they're starting to get their flow and game together.
So to throw in at the back of the pack, Payne immediately tackled there by Josh Williams, and the umpire will come in and say, we'll do it all again. Well done by Turner. They get the ball out, and only Hampton now. Pace, handball over to Billy Murphy, controls it. Can he get the ball back? And he's tackled into the ground. He barely I was about to say, he didn't have a hell of a lot of opportunity. He had controlled it, but it was still rolling away from him. As soon as he picked it up, he was tackled. So that was his prior opportunity.
Yes, that's probably the way the umpire saw it. A little bit stiff, but, he's exciting talent, isn't he? He's really creating plenty of headaches down there for the Southport defence.
He goes faster than I've ever been in my life, Bob. I know that, and I drive a car inside the centre square. Gross did well again at ground level. Fife got into his back. Nothing happening. Umpire will ball it up again.
Been consistent with that, though. The umpires have not paid one free kick for in the back in those sort of circumstances. They're giving both teams a real consistent approach there with those decisions.
So it looks like there's a blood rule.
Big Jed.
Big Jed. You can see a little bit of claret there around the top of the jumper.
On the ear, I think, or the back of the ear.
Coming out the back of the head, yeah, just near the ear hole. Big Jed Turner's copped a little bit today, and it's been a really good battle between he and Spencer in the ruck. Now it's Dale for Southport. Kicks it towards the 50. Backing himself and doing well there was Jordan Arnold, but he didn't quite control the ball. He got back up from Gross. Baru got a handball over the top to Johnson. Now it goes back to this man in Shea. Gets rid of it. A lot of pressure inside forward 50 for Southport. Well done, Templeton. Got Toy. Toy was buffeted out of it by Dale, and that affected the kick. So it goes to the outer side. It looks like Josh Williams is going to have a ping.
He's a lovely kick, Josh Williams. You give him a good chance from there. He's just got to get the ride of the breeze behind it and aim it a little bit right of that right goalpost. Reece Toy would like to forget his last 10 minutes. He spoiled Freeman up there for a golden opportunity, and then a poor kick there to give Williams a chance.
So here comes Josh Williams, Suns Academy. Just right. Just right. Didn't really give it too much chance, to be honest with you. So 3-9-27 Southport. Now 1 point the difference, trailing Aspley 4-4-28. It's Gross to bring it in. That's a floater from Gavin Gross, and it just makes it to Tom Fields with the juggling chest mark. Now Fields is going to kick it out wider. He's going to find Matt Shaw. Shaw now tries to measure a pass. Reece Toy read it well. He might have redeemed himself there. Got a mitt to it and spoiled it, and it's kicked forward now. Gross, the spoil. Well done to Ben Warren as well, who's been rejecting a lot of ball from the back line for Aspley. Lonnie Hampton, he's hassled out of it. Ball over the boundary line. Get another throw in. They've really stood up, Gavin Gross and Ben Warren in the back line.
They have, yeah. Matty Payne's been down there giving him some support as well. Certainly Jordan Arnold's had his handful with Johnson, but he's really using his body well as well. So they're defending hard.
Spencer gets it back towards the boundary line. Nothing happening. Another throw in. As we see Reece Toy coming off. Willie Gowers comes on, the former Swans Academy player. Yeah, Liam Dawson is dead set on the tagging role with Andrew Boston at every clearance. As Fife enters the fray for Southport, tackled by Dawson, who left Boston for a brief moment to inflict that tackle. We get another ball up. So we've had a fair bit of stoppage here, some tired bodies, I've got to say, with the heavy physical impact. We have another blood reel. Looks like Dylan Fife.
And knee bleeding there a little bit. I'm sure Daniel Webster will be very happy with the commitment and the intent from the Aspley boys today. They're certainly here to play and really making a contest.
They certainly are. Tyler Roos could have been held without the ball, ends up in his hands, but like kicking in danger decision. You don't see many of those. It's going to go to Daniel Henderson at right half back for Aspley. He's looking to switch play. Ben Warren just telling him exactly where he should be kicking it. Not a lot of movement ahead. Southport have set up reasonably well. It's come back out towards the boundary line, and Ben Warren doesn't quite take it in the one grab. He juggles it, so therefore it goes over the boundary line and will be a throw in. Yeah, just nicely set up there, Southport. They didn't give any easy exit for Aspley.
Yeah, that's how they do their defence, isn't it? They really love the intercept mark, and they read the play, the flight of the ball very well, their defenders.
Spencer back towards the boundary line, and Michael Hagan can't keep it in. So their intent now, Aspley, I think, if Southport have got this breeze advantage, and we're not going to allow you to have any free-flowing play at all. Yeah,
they're defending hard. They just got to be careful. The next 5 to 6 minutes that Southport don't get a run on.
Josh Hall did beautifully where Spencer got into his back, but great athleticism from Hall. Ben Warren, Ives, scrubs it forward. It was Murdoch again, got the handball. Come back to Tyler Roos. Under pressure, he hooks it back around his body. Great contest between Liam Dawson and Andrew Boston. That has been a nice little battle within a battle all day.
Yeah, certainly has. El Mucho and Liam Dawson. They're both at each other. And look, it's been a great contest, hasn't it? As I said before, keeps his eye on the footy, Dawson, and becomes a potent ball when Aspley get the potent force when Aspley get the 40. That's important.
That is important. Now, the umpire said that was illegal disposal. It's going to go to Andrew Boston. No, Josh Hall, who gives it to Andrew Boston now. Boston, it's a long kick, slightly ill-directed. It favoured Jordan Arnold. Ball hit the deck. Yeah, just not quite the disposal that we're used to from Andrew Boston, who's quite an elite kick.
Yeah, just trying to overkick the ball a little bit, Southport, instead of kicking it into space for their smaller players.
Now Ives, Williams. Ives at ground level. He can't avoid the ball. It falls into his hands when he's on the ground. Henderson now, tackled by Dale, stuck underneath him. We're going to get another ball up right on 50. No, umpire's going to say, you dived on it. So I've been waiting for one of the umpires to wind up the old Sea Eagle.
You could see that one unfolding, couldn't you? He
Yeah.
was about 20 metres away. It's usually a giveaway when they don't run towards the pack, isn't it?
No, when they just stand there and wind it up. That's a long kick. Dangerous kick from Tom Fields. Big pack and Gavin Gross again. That is a brilliant defensive effort. He wasn't entitled to get there. Belted it through for another behind. Scores a level, 28 apiece.
Love to see him on a volleyball court, wouldn't you, doing those big spikes over the net, the way he jumps there, Gavin Gross.
Gee, he's got some athleticism again for a player of his age. He's in the later end of his career. Boy, he's got some great skills still on show and athleticism as Jono Freeman has the ball at half back. Tries to measure a pass. Just gets there. Craven now. Jono Giles coming back there to Gowers. Gowers long down the line. Doesn't favour Walbers. Gets to the back of the pack though. O'Shea. He picks it up. Now Southport are out again. Gowers at the back. Spoils Mackenzie Willis. Well done by Fife. He's got a man in the middle. They have got time and numbers. Here goes Josh Williams. He has a bounce. Gets to about 60 and just tries to measure it to Johnson. Uses his body to affect it. All the hard work, then drop the agate. Well done by Templeton and Gross again. He's going to get it to... Is that Liam Dawson? No, it's not out there. It is Jack Stanley out there. That's a great kick too to Luca Mason. Mason can't control it. Geez, Mitch Johnson did all of that hard work, didn't he? But then just dropped it, probably bounced off one of his rock-hard pecs, as they say.
Yeah, no, he put his body in the great position, didn't he? But it's a good contest down there. He's really working hard, Jordan Arnold.
Yeah.
Good matchup.
So on the outer side, Fife tackled by Gowers, and we'll do it all again. Another ball up.
He's really lifted William Gowers in the last 5-10 minutes. He's really starting to lay his hand on the footy and do a lot of good work for Aspley.
James Ives on 15 touches. Ben Warren now lifting his rating on 9. Gavin Gross on 8. Daniel Henderson on 8. So it's those three defenders that have got the most outside of Ives for Aspley. When it comes to Southport, Matt Shaw's on 11. Mitch Johnson's got 9 touches and 2 goals. And Lee Dale's now lifted up to 8 touches. It's a long kick towards half forward for Aspley now. What can they do? Well done to Jack O'Shea. Kicks it long down the line. Henderson spoiled forward. Josh Williams got more involved. Sells the big dummy and then kicks it to centre half forward. Well done, Baru. Johnson at the base of the pack. Templeton and Johnson. Johnson actually just won the physical battle. Just tapped the ball out. Now it spills. Fife puts himself in there. How he got rid of that, I'll never know. It was a great tackle there by Clements. The ball stuck underneath. And we'll get another ball up. It's Gowers coming up with the agate now.
Just been informed Jed Turner's now changed his jumper. He'll now be wearing number 11 when he gets back on the field.
Ah, yes, because of all of the red stuff all over his nice white jumper. As the ball goes the other side. Oh, well done there by Brodie Murdoch for a big man. Got rid of the pacey Hampton, then got around a nice kick to Shaw. Shaw on the right shoe. Sees a man on his own, basically. That's pinpoint. 45-metre pass to find Dylan Fife from Matt Shaw. That is exquisite foot skills.
Well, you know, you said it, Michael, like to even see that player out the corner of his eye, because he was facing the opposite direction. So he's either absolutely got eyes in the back of his head when he took that mark, or he has X-ray perception, because that was a beautiful kick. It was centimetre perfect, and little Fife just ran straight into it and has got a shot at goal to give him a 1-goal lead if he's successful.
So this would give them the lead for the first time today. Aspley have led from the very beginning. Dylan Fife, he doesn't make any mistake. Starts it into the right goal post, and the goal umpire didn't have to do any work whatsoever. So the Sharks hit the lead. It is 4-10-34 to Aspley, 4-4-28. 1 goal the margin now.
Yeah, 24-minute mark of the second quarter before they've hit the front, and yeah, Aspley have been clinging on, but yeah, weight of numbers there, and beautiful kick from Matt Shaw. He's up there with the disposals, but it's the effectiveness of those disposals that was on show then. That was a beautiful kick. He and Ben Warren, James Ives, and on the other wing there in Josh Williams, has been 4 battles of those outside mids, hasn't it? They've been really good players for their sides.
Yeah, Matt Shaw, 12 touches now. He's had 4 inside 50s and 3 rebound 50s, so he's covering the arcs as well. Goes back to Tyler Roux, scrubs it forward. Could have been a free kick to Charlie Ford. Nothing happening. Batchelor does well. Handball over the top. Now here's Liam Dawson doing exactly what you said he should do, Bob, is peel away after he's done the tagging roll. Gets it towards Freeman, who absolutely poleaxes his opponent in Taylor. That's what a forward should be doing. You get in my hole, I am going to knock you out of the way. Well done to Jono Freeman. Ball over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Yeah, well spotted, Michael. Look, that's one of the things that I think John O'Freeman would have got the feedback from the Lions, that he just wasn't strong enough and hard enough to contest in those marking drills and hurting opposition defenders. He certainly did then.
So the Sharks to clear through Ruse. Punched away from Clements, rove by Gowers, handball to Templeton. Templeton gets around his opponent. That's a long kick from Templeton to the goal line. Just a, wowee, that's a 55, nearly 60 metre kick on the fly across the face and one behind. So 4-5-29, Aspley, the Sharks 4-10-34.
Got some power in that leg, hasn't he? And look at the power in that leg from Tom Fields. He's a beautiful kick as well.
Into the centre of the ground. That's a monumental kick. Well done by Jordan Arnold, who read it beautifully. He goes to the outer wing. MVP 3, Payne. He takes it again to the outer side. They're just sharing the ball around. Gowers now to Reece Toy. This is better from Aspley.
He owes him one, doesn't he, Reece? He needs to find a target here.
He does. Oh, it was Luca Mason who was the target. It went straight through his hands. Probably just a little bit too much on the kick. Well done there to Jack O'Shea. Gets it down the opposite wing, but Gavin Gross, yet again, he gets it back to Payne. Payne inside 50. Big fly, and there it is. Jack Spencer will have a Mark Endor free kick. Well done, Jake Spencer. Now that's what they really need, is some of the big tall timber to get down and help Jono Freeman out as well. It's all well and good to get those hit-outs, but you've got to damage them around the field. As Gavin Gross comes up for a well-earned rest, the veteran is on fire today.
Yeah, look, he's defending well, and it was a lovely kick there as Spencer comes in and puts that one right through the middle.
Well done.
Fantastic kick from Jakey Spencer. Kicking's not been the highlight of his packages, but that was a great finish from the big ruckman. And as you said, they really needed that one. They've answered the challenge, and it's Aspley back to a 1-point lead. 5-5-35 leading Southport. 4-10-34. We've gone 27 minutes.
Late in the second quarter, that's exactly what Aspley need. Regain that lead. They've had it from the start of the game. First time Southport have led was after that last goal. They've answered quickly and against the breeze, so that they'd be feeling a lot happier about that. And they've had some opportunities that they've missed. Both clubs, in fact, to both ends. As we see young Jack Mentha about to come back on for Southport. We're back into the middle now. Jed Turner wearing number 11 and a little bit of a elastoplast around the jaw area. Boston now just starting to break free, get a couple of touches. He's hit Shaw. Shaw now classy, hits Dale. Dale around the corner. It's bouncing freely. Well done by Craven. Just got the handball away. Still at ground level. Payne picks it up, pops it in the path of Ives. Well done to Fields, who picked it up. He was tackled. Dale, who's been playing very well. He was a late inclusion today. In and under. Ives gets it back. The no-look handball was sharked by Fields. Inside 50, Ben Warren will take the Mark Endor free kick. Baru was hanging on to him. Now here's Lonnie Hampton. Oh, he's got Luca Mason out on the outer wing, and the run of Daniel Henderson. He's just got to hit him. That's an awful handball. Awful handball that's just cost Aspley a vital forward foray. Maybe it was that stinger on the left shoulder that he got a little bit early, Luca Mason, but that's
yeah, just
ordinary.
a poor skill error, wasn't it? Like, they had the numbers. All they had to do was draw that player towards him and get it over the top, but his left-hand handball left a lot to be desired.
Walbers, he slaps it down. Ben Warren in the front. It's going to get a free kick. No, umpire said it wasn't his free kick at all. It's actually going to go to Mackenzie Willis. He was calling advantage. The players didn't quite know what was going on. Williams kicks it towards forward 50. Johnson spoiled. Well done again by Jordan Arnold. Ball comes out wide. It's going to go to Wives. He's having a ripping game today. Controlling things along the wing and half back. Has a bounce to right half forward. Great use of the body from Freeman. Got rid of Clark. Now he plays on, puts it into the pocket and makes Hagan do a lot of work. Taylor at the back. He gives it to Miller. Miller now to Mackenzie Willis. And that's a beautiful kick as well. Again, you can just see the kicking skills of some of these players are just a little bit above Josh Williams has it now.
Yeah, that was good, wasn't it? And Shaw as well. They've just hit their targets when they need to. But Aspley are hanging in there. They go forward again.
Great spoil. Toy, he lowers the eyes, and Billy Murphy cuts in front of Stackelberg. Either one of them was going to get it. So Billy Murphy, who kicked the goal early, is going to have another ping, this time from about 35 directly in front.
Yeah, that's good playing. Good idea to lower their eyes, wasn't it? But look, they've just lifted in the last 3 or 4 minutes, haven't they, Aspley? Billy Gowes, Templeton, all these players, they're kicking the ball a little bit better too.
And here's Murphy. Leans back. Oh, that was a chance that went begging. Another one. So both clubs, as we say, are spraying some of their chances. 5-6-36 Aspley, 4-10-34 for the Sharks. 2 points the Hornets lead it by late in the second quarter here at Voxson Oval. Getting the Sharks ready to come back in now. It's a long kick from Reece Clark towards the outer wing. Well spotted and good play there. Aspley to John O'Giles, handball to Payne, inside 50, big pack, front of that pack. There he goes, Michael Hagan, kicks it towards the goal square, and one behind again. So this time it's Aspley's turn to start spraying him. 5-7, plays 4-10. Aspley by 3 points late in the second. Reece Clark again. There's no movement for him. For the Southport players, very little movement at all. So they probably expect this one to go exactly where it did. Almost to the centre of the ground. In fact, it is to the centre of the ground. That is a huge kick. He's only come out of the goal square. How far is that, Bob? Let's set 65.
Out of the goal square, so he's probably kicked that 65 metres, I would have thought.
Very good kick, and that is the siren, and that is half-time in what has been a real arm wrestle here at Voxson Oval for round 2 of NEAFL TV. It is Aspley 5-7-37 to Southport 4-10-34 after Aspley led by 15 points at quarter time. The Sharks had plenty of chances in that second quarter. Bob just couldn't basically find the big ones.
Yeah, look, the Sharks peppered the goals there early, didn't they? And 4 goals, 10, not good shooting for goal, but they've always seemed to struggle at this oval. They haven't come away with the Bickies for 7 years, but they're close at half-time. They've been trailing most of the day. I think they hit the front just quickly when Fife kicked that goal. But Aspley have been deserved leaders in this first half. They've been the more committed team, really working hard, and probably just that little bit more consistent than Southport. Southport have rolled in and out of the play a little.
First half very shortly as far as stats and the best players go. But we'll be back for the second half very soon. This is NEAFL TV through our broadcast partner, Bar TV. We can do it. Welcome back to Voxson Oval at Graham Road, Aspley, for NEAFL TV and round 2, the Aspley Hornets versus the Southport Sharks. At half-time, it's the Hornets by 3 points, 5-7-37 to 4-10-34. Southport after Aspley led by 15 points at quarter-time. It's Michael Price and Bob Batty calling all of your action. Bob, the game's on a knife edge. Half-time, how do you see it playing out from here?
Yeah, look, very good first half from Aspley. They've really pressured well. They've showed some pace and outside, and they're hanging in this game. I think Southport might just get over the line.
Well, they've wasted their chances. That's big Jed Turner, who had to change jumpers from 23 to 11 and get wrapped up with elastoplast after a blood rule. Matthew Payne kicks it towards the wing, bounces away from Hampton. Tyler Roos, balanced, gets it back there to Taylor. Taylor now to Mackenzie Willis. Under a lot of pressure, keeps the ball in. Well, does he? No, it floated again out of bounds. Thought he did beautifully then, but that wind is still strong towards this boundary line. Once again, Gavin Gross under a bit of pressure there from Clements. Gets the handball away. Payne, tackled by Mentha. Now Clements goes in for his second opportunity in this stand. On the far side.
Yeah, and we were informed young Jordan Hayden did that hamstring in that first quarter, so he's been hardly sighted since then, obviously, and could be missing for a month, I'd say.
Yeah, that's a shame for Aspley. They're down one. We haven't seen Ryan Davis participating for Southport since the early days, as Boston has a ping from an impossible angle. Johnson! He did beautifully there, just worked his man underneath the ball with his strength and balance. The double grabber. He took it to that ample chest. He's going to have a ping from pretty close in.
Yeah, very good mark, wasn't it? A very good contested mark. Been a great battle, those two. Jordan Arnold's really worked hard and been tireless in defence for Aspley. He was the bloke that actually kicked it out of defence just before then. So you'd back Murdoch from here, Michael.
Mitch Johnson, boy from Berwick, 5 goals last week. He's kicked 2 already today. Sharpish angle shouldn't be a problem for him. He comes in and boy, oh boy. Talk about over allowing for the breeze from close in. He's missed that. That's another opportunity gone begging for the Sharks. So 4-11 now they are to Aspley's 5-7.
As I said, you'd back Murdoch from there, but you wouldn't back Johnson. That's for sure.
So we go back into the middle of the ground. Oh, Mackenzie Willis. Geez, you'd have to pay that, sir. Anyway, the ball spills. Lonnie Hampton picks it up. Reese Toy. Clark, he tackles him. Back to Stackelberg. Oh, great tackle there from Jordan Taylor. Good running from Aspley, but good defensive effort from the Sharks.
Yeah, they really pushed back hard, didn't they? And Geordie Taylor, who copped a real good knock early in that first quarter, the boy from Finley and South Adelaide. Great tackle to stop a goal then.
So the ball coming back commentary side. Gross again at the back of the pack brings it down. Payne. I like his roll across half back, Bob. We'll discuss that shortly. Ball spills. Mentha gets it back to Mackenzie Willis. Now Shaw. Down the wing. Templeton did well. Payne again. Enters the fray. Handball to Ives. Ives now. Head over the ball, James Ives. Just kept going forward. Couldn't quite get it. Now here's Shea. Scrubs a handball back to Ives. Ives now pressured out of it. Fife. Clark. Torpedo from Clark over the back of the pack. That's going to find touch. Wally Lewis style with the old brown Steeden at Lang Park. We'll get a throw in. Pressure's right
down
on.
at the bench there. There's no Davis, so he must be done for the day, I would have thought.
Well, we'll double check with that later on, but we haven't seen him since early in the first quarter. Batchelor slaps it down. Jed Turner can't get there. John O'Giles can. Shoots a handball out. Gowers. Oh, Fife crunched but propels it forward. Hampton. He gets it. Picked up there by Jack O'Shea. And we'll get another ball up just in front of us here. Just having a look at some of those stats, mate, from half-time. We're looking at Southport actually inside 50s with 31 to 24 and trailing the game. Aspley's winning the hit-outs 33 to 11, but, you know, that's a dominance that's not manifesting anywhere else. Here's Ben Warren in the middle of the ground. He's going to find Billy Murphy, and he's going to go. That's what he does. And he's got another speedster in Hampton. He hits him. Hampton controls it all the time in the world. all the time in the world, and kicks are behind. Both sides wasting their chances. You can actually see in the Aspley commentary, coaches box beside us, the levels of frustration growing in that regard.
Yeah, look, that was one that you just pencil in, wouldn't you? He actually probably in the end took it too easily.
Yeah, could have almost run into the top of the square too. Gross, and well done there, Jack Stanley. I like Aspley's defence today. Their defensive effort's been working well. Templeton in the middle of the ground, the product from Noosa, can't you tell? He's got a nice tan on him. It's almost as brown as the stripes on the Aspley jumper. Jordan Arnold goes down the outer side. It was a fumbly kick towards Warren, and he gets tackled into the ground.
Just the disposal skills from both sides, both hand and foot in this first 5 minutes of this third quarter has left a lot to be desired. They're just the pressure's getting to both teams at the moment. Who's going to crack, Michael?
Well, it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Most stats are really close. Disposal count at half-time, there was only a couple in it, with Southport leading 149 to 146. We also had the tackling stats. Southport slightly leading those 29 to 20. But the inside 50 count, 31 to 24, was also Southport, but they're still trailing this game. Jake Spencer, Mackenzie Willis kicks it inside 50. Oh, that's a good defensive mark from Jordan Arnold. Now, he was advantaged by the kick, but he still has to get that quite substantial, chunky body of Mitch Johnson out of the way. He did so. Goes down the outer side, kicks it way too far, out of bounds on the full. So Andrew Boston will take the free kick for Southport.
Just missing targets, aren't they? Just can't hit a target at the moment, Aspley. They've just got to take a little bit more time with their kicks and get a bit more space outside.
That's a beautiful kick from Boston. It sets up for Gross. Oh, there's a free kick there. It's going to go against Aspley. Now, Gross just popped through and was able to take that mark, but the umpire has called that Josh Hall was shepherded out of the contest. There's Jack Stanley, who's pleading his case right now, but the umpire's just saying, no, you got in the way, you didn't go for the ball.
I think the key to those, isn't it, you just got to keep your eye on the ball. As soon as you take your eye off it and worry about the opponent, that's when they deem it a free kick.
Josh Hall comes in. Dear, oh dear. Lucky to hit the goal at all. One behind results, so 4 goals, 12 for Southport, not handling this breeze at all. That's a beautiful kick from Gross. How good is that? That's a 60-metre pass that hits James Ives at left half back.
Yeah, we need to see more of that from Aspley. They need to start hitting targets and looking for some forward structures.
Over the head of Walbers at the back. Reece Clark can't quite hit Ruse. Ruse did well, balanced Tyler Ruse, and a beautiful delivery to Lee Dale. Lee Dale now. He's got movement everywhere. Got Mackenzie Willis to his right, but he goes longer. That's Clements at the back. That's Clements at the back. He is the shortest target in that forward 50. But as soon as Dale let go of that ball, you knew it was going to hit Clements at the back.
Yeah, good call, Michael. You saw him at the back. He was in position, put his body, his ample body. Not very tall, but he's got plenty of muscle on that body, and he took a good, strong mark.
Here he goes. Oh, he starts it right, and it goes even righter, as they say. So 4 goals, 13. It's epidemic, Bob. You can't vaccinate against that, can you? That is amazing. Gowers now from the kick from Gross. Gets it back to Ives. Now Craven, middle of the ground. Southport have got it covered. Goes with Miller. He gets it out wide to Shaw. Shaw inside 50 and cut off again by you-know-who. Gavin Gross, who's having a monumental game in defence today.
Yeah, been good, and Payne's really solidified that back half, hasn't he? But yeah, as you said, Southport really wasting opportunities, going into the breeze, if anything, and have had 3 opportunities to Aspley's 1 to kick goals, not hard shots, and they've missed them all. Ives has got the footy now, deep in defence, looks out wide.
Here he goes, Ives to Jono Giles. Oh, that's a good mark. Just misreading it was Josh Williams. So Jono Giles in front of the Voxson Oval scoreboard, which sees Aspley in front by a point. Down the wing. Oh, good grab, Reece Clark. Really strong hands. Gets it in there to Tyler Ruse now. Handball to Dale. It came off tape. Dale inside 50. Gross from behind, and it's going to drop in front. There's little Jack Mentha, who made his debut last week with the Gold Coast Suns in the NEAFL. And he's a late inclusion here for Southport today, after they lost a couple of players in Michael Manteet and Kai Shears as well.
Yeah, look, he's certainly got an opportunity. This is exactly the same pocket that they had a shot a moment ago through Clements. Let's see how he goes.
Jack Mantha, he makes a better fist of it, but it goes across the other side, so not quite enough. So 4 goals, 14-38, and scores are finally level. They're doing it in increments of 1, Southport at the moment. 18 scoring shots to 13. Scores tied. Freeman. Turner at the back spoiling. Good hands from Freeman. Need to see more of that from Jono. He plays on. That could have been 50 as Boston came in from the wrong direction there. Inside 50. Clark did well. Gets the handball away. Tom Fields gets the handball too. Jordan Taylor wearing the headgear. Now it's back with Matt Shaw. He will hit a target. And it's Mackenzie Willis. Aspley set up well in front of him too. Boston now with the lead. That's honoured. He wants to make the switch. It's coming all the way across to the right half back. Tom Fields now. He's got the run of Tyler Roos, but he decides to go by foot. Why not? He drops it out a couple of metres in front of Seb Tate. Will it bounce kindly? It does. Handball back to Williams. Williams can go to the races from 50. Top of the square. Over the head of Johnston. Johnson comes back to the front of the pack. Can't quite control it. Daniel Henderson did well. Craven as well in defence. Ball spills. Johnson's going to pick it up. Can he dribble it through? He's had a couple of fresh aries at it. It rolls through for a behind. Goals are very difficult to come by. 4 goals, 15 to Southport. They're 1 point in front.
Yeah, both coaching boxes really struggling with the disposal on both sides at the moment. That was a golden opportunity there for Johnson in the forward pocket, and he messed it up both sides of the body.
It's pretty indicative of the pressure that's coming in from both sides, though, Bob, isn't it?
It is. Certainly, it's a real contest. It's an arm wrestle as we speak, and it's whoever's going to show that little bit of poise and exact kicking to really hurt him on the scoreboard is going to take this game out.
Well, this could be cue Matt Payne. He enters and kicks it inside 50. Looking for Freeman. Oh, Freeman through the hands at the back. O'Shea takes it over the boundary line and throw in. You almost called that perfectly, Bob. But just the hands of Jono Freeman there. The kick was just probably, a couple of centimetres too long.
It's like they say, when you're really fatigued, you really got to make sure you take those grabs and be strong at it, and he wasn't strong enough, was he?
So, Spencer, double fists it forward, hacked out of there by Shaw. Nice mark from Henderson. Right at the traditional centre-half forward position. Daniel Henderson now, if he gives it to Gross, no, he's going himself. Why not? Pops it to the line. Southport spoiling. Ives can't control it. Turner, he enters the fray. Oh, it's going to be stuck underneath there. It's almost a rugby maul between all of the defensive players for Southport and the attackers from Aspley. Lee Dale over the top there. Umpire's letting it go. It is a rolling maul. Batchelor breaks away. Handball to Hampton, tackled by Baru. Loses the ball. Williams now. Handball now to Matt Shaw. They're running away with it. Brodie Murdoch, geez, they save the day there, Southport, and chips it to Josh Williams.
Proving a bit of a handful on this wing, isn't he, Josh Williams? He's starting to get his hand on the footy, take a few marks and lift his confidence. So he's a player to watch. Tyler
Roos. It's interesting. Tyler Roos didn't have a club when he came back from overseas, and he's flying in, flying out for Southport.
Yeah, look, his mate and part of the Fab Four last year with Josh Clayton and Tommy Wilkinson. Well, Clayton went to Werribee. Wilkinson got drafted to North Melbourne. So he was undecided what he'd do. And in the end, he's come back and stayed with Southport. So good luck to him. Fly in, fly out, but they're happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely. He's keeping fit too. And judging from today's display, not a problem when it comes down to playing the game. Another physical effort. Now you see that Jamison Shea just came off a little ginger there. Oh, Billy Murphy explodes onto the clearance. Great tackling effort there by Charlie Ford. Southport now tape. It gets back to Ford. Kicks it inside centre square. Spoiling effort. Mentha taps it forward. Keeps going hard. Jordan Arnold worries him out of it. Payne picks it up. Handball to Dawson. Dawson now. Ives versus Fife. Fife did beautifully. Gets the handball away to Mentha. Back to Fife. Boston just missed with the handball. He goes back hard. He's tackled there by Arnold. Ball stuck underneath him. Umpire says we'll ball it up. I'm loving this game of football, Bob. It might have a lot of unforced errors and whatnot, but they are belting into each other. Physicality.
Yeah, no, it's certainly game up for grabs in it. You can see it. Players have got that steely look in their eyes as they attack each contest.
Oh, they want it bad, and Fife has the ball. He's tackled there by Reece Toy. He's being held up. We'll get another ball up.
Certainly the breeze, I don't know whether it's dropped off a little bit. It just doesn't seem to be as strong. They seem to be able to kick the ball a bit better up to that end now.
Yeah, I think the breeze has popped down a bit, Bob. Just having a look at the trees along the outer side of Graham Road at Voxson Oval. It seems a little bit, and we're not getting too much of it blowing into the commentary box, which is usual for this particular area. Throw in. Right half forward for the Sharkies. Turner versus Walbers. Ruse, inside 50, spoiling effort by Gross. Payne's front and centre. Gets the handball away. Batchelor did well against Mackenzie Willis to get it back to Hampton. Now to the run of Henderson, who cuts back through traffic well. Stackelberg, they've got numbers. Inside 50. And it suits Clark. It bounces back for Freeman, who has a snap and rolls it through. Jono Freeman. That's the goal Aspley were after. 6-8-44 to 4-15-39. 5 points the margin, 16 gone third term.
Yeah, first goal for the quarter, wasn't it? It's been a long time coming, but yeah, great snap there from Jono Freeman. Big long kick from Stackelberg coming through the middle, but good linking play from the Aspley defenders. They really worked hard to get that ball out of the Southport forward line, linked it together, long kick from Stackelberg, and you would think that they might have had a small player down there to crumb, but Jono Freeman went for the mark, gathered his own crumb and snapped beautifully on the left foot. So that's a lifter for Aspley, and let's see if they can go on with with the thing now with 5 points in front halfway through this third quarter.
So the ruck contest ends up at the feet of Dylan Fife. Scrubs a handball out to Shaw. Shaw now. Oh, it ends up in the hands of Tyler Ruse. Just controlling things now. Aspley. And it's been a tandem effort. Big fly from Josh Hall. That's it. Geez, it was almost a no-look mark, Bob. He's had his eyes closed when he got that second grab. He's an athlete, isn't he? Josh Hall kicks it forward. Baru in front position, and that's a great spoil there by Jordan Arnold. He's done a great job in defence, and he won't rack up the stats either today, but his 1%ers have been fine.
Yeah, look, he's had his hands full, hasn't he, with certainly Mitch Johnson there up forward, but he's really held sway, and their defence has been rock solid today, Aspley, and unlike last week where they just let the wind through.
Yeah. Geez, they're still working on Boston inside that forward 50, both Liam Dawson and Brandon Batchelor. It's been a tandem effort all day today. Josh Hall, there's a snap, top of the square, Johnson, and well done again by Jordan Arnold in defensive effort. Takes it through for a behind, so it's 6-8-44 to 4-16-40. It's amazing seeing a scoreline like that.
Yeah, 20 shots to 14, and they're still 4 points behind. So, bang, look at that kick. That's you'd love to see every player kick like that.
That's a magnificent kick. He is an elite kicker. The football is Gavin Gross. The ball still loose at half forward for Southport. Williams, he puts it in there. He's got a magnet on his chest or something. It's just the ball is attracted to him today, Gavin Gross. He shows no signs of slowing down in his career, the veteran. Gets it across to Templeton now. Craven, run of Reece Toy. He's got Hampton in the middle. He's got Henderson by hand, and now he floats a wobbling mongrel. That's a beautiful pass. Freeman drops what he should have taken, but he's going to dribble this one through. Oh, no, he's not. He's going to hit the post. It was like a cue Benny Hill music. Drop, mark, pick it up, dribble, post. So 6-9-45 to 4-16-40. 5 points of margin.
Yeah, look, both sides have squandered opportunity after opportunity in this third quarter, and as we said, the wind has dropped a bit, but the players really struggling to judge the ball in the air. It might be fatigue setting in with some of these players.
The physicality of the game is playing havoc with the players' skills and their endurance. They are belting in. They are hammering in a physical nature that I haven't seen in the round one. Liam Dawson breaks away from Boston for a moment to take a mark. Beautifully weighted kick hits Henderson. Henderson's little sandwich, no good. It's still loose at centre half forward. He gets it back, Henderson. What's he going to do now? That's a wobbler, but it finds the target and will get another shot at goal. This time, let's see if Jono Freeman can go back steady and put it through the big ones to give Aspley just a little bit of breathe.
Yeah, well, look, he owes them one, doesn't he, after that last drop mark? And certainly a couple of wobbly kicks, as you well called, like 2 or 3 kicks there that went into the forward line that wobbled and wobbled. But that one he read a little bit better, and he should go back and slot this one and give him a real lift.
Couple of goals today, Jono Freeman. 3 last week. He's going to let go from 45. Kicks right through it. Kicks too hard. Doesn't let it sit up in the breeze. So 6-10-46 to 4-16-40. It's one straight goal, the margin in favour of Aspley. We played 20 minutes of the third quarter on NEAFL TV through Bar TV. I'm Michael Price, and this is Bob Batty.
Yeah, look, which defence is going to hold on here? It's battle of defences at the moment.
Oh, great mark taken there by Jack O'Shea. He plays on. Handball now. Comes back in board to Mentha. Done a couple of nice things, the young man, but as soon as I say that, he's turned it over. Templeton. He controls it back to Toy. Over to Ben Warren. The experienced campaigners in this backline for Aspley. I like what they've done this year. You can see that building up. Daniel Henderson. Out of side. Luca Mason has ball in front of Andrew Boston. Not a lot of movement for him up forward. Stackelberg provided the lead, but Mason's going to go longer, and he's going to go to Jono Freeman. Got to the front position, got buffeted out a little bit. Good body work there. Well done by Tate. That comes through to Shaw. Shaw gets the handball back. Can they get out of here, Southport? They do have a little bit of mucking around with it. Jack O'Shea gets it back to Murdoch. Scrubs it down the outer side. Luca Mason picks it up. He's immediately tackled, dispossessed. That's a great tackle. Boston, yellow boots. Akimbo gets it through. Now to Shea. Shea just pops it up. It is a torpedo. Johnson versus Gross. Gross gets the spoil away. That's a free kick against Mitch Johnson. It should be. And that is Daniel Henderson. No, umpire said that's a ball up.
Yeah, just haven't given those frees in the back, have they, today? They've hardly given a decision to the players that really look as though they've been jumped on. But, yeah, that's certainly good play from Daniel Henderson, though. He showed some real leg speed, didn't he?
Absolutely. I suppose you'd rather the umpires make the, err on the side of letting it go. But sometimes when a free kick is earned, it's got to be given. As we'll see the continuing story of Liam Dawson versus Andrew Boston. I've been enthralled by that, sorry.
And also Brandon Batchelor and Mackenzie Willis.
They're both in there, and they're both giving it to each other. It's been a fine battle all day. Turner over both ruckmen just too content with wrestling. The ball just went by itself. Gowers gets it onto the shoe quickly. Freeman over his head. Hagan, he couldn't quite pick it up. Well done there by Taylor in the headgear, got it back, but then they're going to turn it over now to Reece Toy. Reece Toy's calling movement. Nothing happening at all. Now he's got Payne short. He goes long in the direction of Stackelberg. Stackelberg jumped all over there. Nice jump from Jack O'Shea, who fisted the ball over the boundary line, immediately went to the bench. Wholesale changes from that bench as well.
They're just starting to get the midfield of Southport just starting to really take a little bit of control, aren't they? What's happened here? There's been a whistle off play. Don't know what's happened here.
It's going to go to...
it's against an Aspley forward, I think, for something. I don't know what it was.
No indication of that. So Jed Turner will take the free kick. Nobody standing the mark at the moment. Billy Murphy gets in there. Long kick to right half forward. Gross. Good spoil. Templeton. Oh, great work from Templeton. Ran away from everybody. And then kicks at the left half forward. Oh, my goodness, Michael Hagan. That was dead set mark of the year if he held on to that. Murphy just shows the heels as well. Gets it back to Ives. Ives, it's a 4-on-1, and they still muck it up. There's Clark. Oh, he gets the pass and lead Dale. So they did exit. Gee, we're sorry to get excited there. Bob Michael
No,
Hagan.
he got higher. He got higher than last week's tee. He was unbelievable. He's standing on the shoulders of the Southport. I think it was Jordan Taylor.
Nice kick from Shaw. No, just overcooked it there. It advantages Templeton. Payne. Good handball to Gowers. A lot of pressure. Walbers. Templeton now. Charlie Ford. He did well there, Ford. He affected the play. The ball went back to Mackenzie Willis. It's kicked forward. Guts effort. That was Jordan Arnold coming at it. He had Josh Hall running straight at him. Great defensive mark. He's had a good game today, Bob.
Yeah, he certainly has, and been a great contest with him and Johnson, but he's certainly taking the honours this quarter.
Now
it's a mark in defence.
Yeah, a little bit of forcing backs is happening now. And umpire, I don't know. He's trying to convince the umpire that it's a 50. The umpire hasn't said anything yet, so Miller. Fields kicks it long down the line. Hall at the back. Charlie Ford, well roved. Hall, he landed like a cat. He received it, chips it forward. Now here's Clements, Rob Clements, and he's got Seb Tape leading for him. Hits him. That was a nicely weighted kick, so Seb Tape should have this distance covered from 50. If he aims for the left goal post, I reckon he's got this one, Bob.
Yeah, look, you mentioned in the first half he probably would have struggled to get that far, but he'll get the distance. What about the accuracy?
Seb Tape starts at left. It's fading, and it just didn't quite make it. One behind results, so it's a 5-point margin at three-quarter time. Aspley, 6-10, 46 to Southport, 4-17-41. Aspley by 5 points after they led by 3 points at half-time, 15 points at quarter time. Our goal scorers, well, there's not a hell of a lot of them to run through.
And he won that quarter, Michael.
Jono Freeman's got 2. Billy Murphy's got 1. Reece Toy 1. Jake Spencer 1. And Lonnie Hampton 1 for Aspley. For the Sharks, only 4 goal scorers. Mitch Johnson's got 2. Dylan Fife 1. And Matt Shaw 1. But they do have 17 behinds. That adds up to 41 points as well. Look, it's not one for the archives skill-wise. It's not one for the archives highlight-wise with the goals, but boy, Bob, they're smashing into each other, and it's making it a really entertaining game.
Yeah, great contest, isn't it? And look, it could go either way. Southport seemed to get on top around the midfield area and got their hand on the footy a lot, but Aspley were holding up pretty well. Their defence, Gavin Gross, you've mentioned, he's been fantastic. You talked about Jordan Arnold and his duel with Mitch Johnson. That's been good. They've had some real good contributors down there. I like Daniel Henderson's that quarter. He was very good. Will Gowers is getting his hand on the footy. Look, they've had some winners all over the ground. I like William Murphy. He looks dangerous up forward for them. And their on-ballers have worked hard to negate opposition. Liam Dawson, you've also mentioned John O'Giles. Those players have really done some good body work on their opponents. But for Southport, Matt Shaw's been very good. Reece Clark in defence has been good. Mentioned Mitch Johnson, a great duel. His opponent in Arnold. And look, I just believe that their outside runners, Josh Williams, you've got players like Tom Fields who started to get his hand on the footy, Lee Dale, just got a little bit more on the outside, Brodie Murdoch, and Mackenzie Willis. They might just get on top in this last quarter, but you wouldn't rule Aspley out the way they've had a crack today.
Yeah, 35 inside 50s for Aspley, 44 for Southport. Look, disposals, there's really nothing in it. 237 Southport, they're plus 14 over Aspley, 223. The only stat that you really see Aspley dominating in is the hit-outs, and they're 39 to 16. So it's not translating in any way, shape or form. But midfield-wise, James Ives leads all comers. Matt Shaw leads all comers now. 24 disposals. He's had 10 marks, 5 inside 50s, 6 rebound 50s, and he's kicked a goal. That's an influential game in anybody's book. Tyler Roos has had 17 touches. Tom Fields has got 14. Lee Dale and Taylor now have 13 touches with Josh Williams. For Aspley, James Ives, 22 touches. Matt Payne's had 20, and I like his move to the half back line, Bob. We might talk about that early in the last quarter. Daniel Henderson's had 17, and Gavin Gross, he's had 14 disposals, but I'd venture to say he's had about 14 1%ers as well. He has been a spoiling machine today.
Certainly has, and look, when he has got the foot, he's been one player that's really kicked the ball long and accurately and hit targets. So good work from the old fella in Gavin Gross.
And we'll take a quick break, come back with the last quarter. This is NEAFL TV through our broadcast partner, Bar TV. Mr. Crackley. Hang on, I'm touching something that's making it crackle. There's crackling.
Okay, we are all set for the last quarter, Michael.
Welcome back to Voxson Oval here at Graham Road, Aspley. Just a couple of technical issues as we speak. I hope you're not hearing them as Jono Giles comes through the middle, picks the ball up, immediately gets tackled. The ball spills. The umpire's just letting it go, and letting it go as Tyler Roos comes in. Tyler Roos arguing with the umpire there. I don't know what for. Maybe he's just saying, let it go a little bit longer.
I think he was saying he dived on the footy and sort of made no attempt.
Roos now gets it over the Williams, kicks it inside 50. Johnson trailing Arnold. The ball's going to get to him though, Mitch Johnson. No, has been adjudged a throw. And as Mitch Johnson is wont to do anyway today, it rolled into the bloody post anyway. So it's an amazing game of football. Once again, a great defensive effort there from Jordan Arnold.
Yeah, no, he's been really good, hasn't he? Very good. As the lights go on here at Voxson Oval, and that may be the cause of the rattle there, Michael, is the lights come on for this last quarter at Voxson.
There you go, the power. It is with Jono Giles at centre half back. He's looking to go to the outer side. Jake Spencer. He's got Billy Murphy just a little bit forward of him. He's got Ben Warren running with him. Decides he's going to go anyway. Mackenzie Willis. Handball now. Puts his teammate under pressure. Williams. Boston did well. Good contested mark.
Yeah, that was a good mark against Matty Payne, wasn't it? Like Matty Payne looked as though he had the prime position there to spoil, but Andrew Mucho Boston put his hands up and you're not beyond him here. This is right in his zone, I would have thought.
He's only had the 11 disposals. He's had 4 clearances, but he can make an impact on this game immediately by drilling this goal. It's right within his distance. As we said, he's an elite kick. Aiming for the right goal post. He'll let go from 55. Gives it a fair roost. It's going to get to the line. Oh, he's hit the post. The left goal post, Bob. So it's 4 goals, 18-42. Still trailing by 4 points. The Southport Sharks. Aspley are 6-10-46. Gavin Gross, a monstrous kick in the direction of Walbers. Tape did well, ends up getting the ball back from Fife. Under a lot of pressure, though. He kicks it straight towards the boundary line, and we'll get a throw in just inside attacking 50. That was a great kick from Boston. He's got that kick, but they've got to learn to kick it towards the right goalpost from that end and the left goalpost from the other end.
Yeah, they just haven't mastered it today, Southport, with those use of the breeze.
Jono Giles, well, gets around. Nice footwork. Handball now in the path of Hampton. He keeps it in. Gets the handball back to Payne. Hooks it around the body. Oh, Freeman. Good hands. Really good hands. You heard it hit the palms as he took that mark in front of Jordan Taylor. So Jono Freeman directing traffic and then driving it long to half forward. Jed Turner, no opponent. Not even near him. Just takes the ball. And that's a bit of a wasted opportunity for a forward for Aspley.
Yeah, good use of the body from Tom Fields to keep Luca Mason out then.
Long kick there. Actually, I think it came off the head of Liam Dawson. It got back to him via Payne. Now Gross at the true centre-half back position. He's going to look for, his teammate there in Daniel Henderson, who took off and ran away from Clements. He has 2 bounces. He's going to go for his third. No, he ends up chipping the ball to Ben Warren. Inside 50. Delightful choice there. Now, Luca Mason was open in the pocket. Ben Warren had his back turned on him. Has he got this in his kit bag to drive it home?
Well, I think he'll get the distance. It's a tough kick. It'll be going right to the line, I would have thought. But great work there from Gavin Gross and equally well done by Daniel Henderson.
So Ben Warren from 52 puts it to the line. Flying, Freeman at the back, 2 grabs, no, off hands and 1 behind results. So it's now 6-11-47 to 4-18-42, 5 points the margin in favour of the Hornets early in the last quarter. Clark now kicks it into the middle of the ground. Jono Giles spoiled by Johnson, who's a long way up the ground. Payne now just waits that kick beautifully. Hits Stackelberg. Now, this is probably dead man's pocket or dead man's flank when you're trying to kick a goal from here. You're kicking right into the teeth of that breeze.
Well, you wouldn't back him from here, would you? You'd think he'd struggle with the distance and the accuracy, but you never know. We've been wrong most of the day. Could probably be wrong again.
Connor Stackelberg from 50. Geez, he gives that a good roost as well. It's gone to the goal line, back of the pack. Fisted forward for Southport. Hands over, Freeman. Could have been tackled high. He ducks at the umpire. Ball spills now. Billy Murphy puts on the skates. Oh, good smothering effort there. It lands in the hands of Toy, though. He gets a handball away. Hampton from 45. He hooks it. He put his hand up as soon as he hit it. He said, that's through the middle. 7-11-53 Aspley. 4-18-42. It's an 11-point margin. And Lonnie Hampton, that's the second cracking goal he's kicked today.
Yeah, no, that was a ripper, wasn't it, from Lonnie Hampton? He was under the pressure. He threw it on his right foot. It was really good work from Reece Toy to keep the ball into the forward line. Lovely handball out wide, and he did the rest. It was a great snap, and maybe not looking at the goals is the answer for both teams.
I think that's
here.
Key. The lack of preparation and acting on instinct seems to have worked for both sides today. Hampton there got the ball in one movement, kicked it, and then stuck his hand up. He knew as soon as he kicked that ball that was going through. Not many players with the confidence like that today.
No, certainly not.
So 7-11-53, 11 points the margin now. Aspley leading this one. It ends up with Mackenzie Willis in the middle. He's tackled and we'll get another ball up. Electrifying. When that pace happens for Aspley in their forward line, it really worries the Southport defence. 5 now. Dale did well out of the middle. Kicks it inside 50. Boston wrestling there with Templeton. Ball spills. Hall. Clements has a shot. Oh, Johnson's marked it right on the top of the goal square. Just a reflex catch. Almost in the gully he's taken that.
Yeah, well, Clements was certainly having a shot, wasn't he? He barreled that footy at the goals, but Johnson, right place, right time, and surely can't miss from this.
No, he hasn't, Bob. He still made the goal umpire do a little bit of work, don't worry, but he knocks it through, and that is the first goal of the second half for Southport. They had 4-10 at halftime. They were 4-18 before that shot. They are now 5-18-48. They're 5 points adrift, but that's the answer they needed, and they're just keeping within that 1-goal margin. It's going to be down to the wire, this one.
Yeah, there hasn't been much between them all day, has it? And look, that sums it up, doesn't it? 1 goal for the second half, and they're still within 5 points. So just shows you how hard it has been to convert opportunities with the pressure and the intensity from both sides here today at Voxson Oval. It's been a cracking pace.
So 1 goal 7 Southport, 2 goals 4 Aspley in the second half. It's been a fair dinkum arm wrestle and a very physical game of footy. As you see the lights on, seems the sun is just about to set around Voxson Oval as Will Walbers basically taps it to himself. Hampton, who's done a couple of very important things today, turns the ball over, but he gets back in there to get it back off Dale, battling away underneath there. Size. Just absolutely belted into the ground too. Loved his game today, James Ives. Had a ripping game of football. And this ruck duel has been enthralling. Five's done well. Mackenzie Willis floats it. Baru did well at the back to spoil. Templeton, Craven now puts himself in, tackled by Baru. Boston now. He's surrounded by people. He has had people around him all day. He's been wearing...
Yeah, look, he certainly he's had Dawson to wear most of the day, but in defence here he's had Matty Payne and a couple of others.
Umpire says there was a shepherd out in the ruck against Jed Turner. It went to Walbers. Walbers now gets it to Templeton. It's been Warren. Warren now. Murphy has got the pace. Gets it away. King from 45. Billy Murphy. Oh, he misses. One behind. You can see the chances are there aplenty. 7-12-54. 5-18-48. 1 straight goal of margin. What price a draw, Bob Batty?
Yeah, great kick from Fields. Yeah, it could go down to the wire. Whoever can find the target in this last 15 minutes is going to win the game.
So here it comes. Down the commentary wing. Oh, Giles, well, he took his eyes off the ball. Umpire could have pinged him for that. Nothing happening. Play on. It's Fields. Kicks it. Ruse at the back. Tyler Ruse takes it over the top of Craven. Now he wants to wheel around, get onto his right foot. It's floating mongrel. Gross. He just put his fist in there at the timely moment. Payne now. Ben Warren. It's those 3 guys for the Aspley defence, I reckon, have controlled it all day with the help of Jordan Arnold and co. Billy Murphy gets rid of his opponent in O'Shea. He's stuck underneath the ball. O'Shea wins out with Williams. Clements, who's lifted his game in the second half, has it in the right forward pocket for Southport. He's a sharpshooter. He's only 35 out. He's got the breeze at his back. Even the umpire, I think, gesticulated, have a crack at it, son. So here he comes, Rob Clements. 1 goal last week, hasn't troubled the scoreboard today. As I said, he has had an influential second half. Giants too, across the face of goal. And another behind, 5-19-49.
Good effort there from Josh Williams. He's come off for a bit of a breather, but that was great bit of play out there on the wing to get that ball into Clements to have a chance.
Well, here's another chance. Here's another chance for Southport, Bob. That kick from Gavin Gross just at the feet of Connor Stackelberg. Couldn't control it for a mark. Now it's going to be a ball up 45 metres out directly in front of Southport's goal. Aspley with plenty of numbers back in defensive 50. Lee Dale has the ball immediately tackled to ground, not making much of an effort. Umpire says we'll ball it up again, same spot.
Yeah, there's not going to be much space in the forward halves of both teams in this last 15 minutes, so it's whoever can take their opportunities.
Well, Walbers went to take it out of the ruck. Fife smothered there. Around half forward. Aspley with the numbers. Oh, Hampton did beautifully. Picked the pocket there. Jack Stanley dribbles it down the wing. Promoted forward by Taylor. He's going to end up getting it back. No, Tom Fields does. Gets it to Clark. Clark over the head of Ruse. It bounces awkwardly, but Charlie Ford enters. Grabs it. Handball to Mentha. Mentha from 45. Oh, floats a mongrel out of bounds on the floor. He was admittedly under a lot of pressure, but not the best effort there from young Jack Mentha, and will get another kick in. 5 points the margin. Aspley leading this one. They've been leading all day. 12 gone, final term. Back of the pack now. Mackenzie Willis to Seb Tape, 2 former Gold Coast Suns. Inside 50. Hall! Oh! Umpire, did the umpire blow the whistle a little early then, or did Josh Hall hold that down?
Yeah, may have given the chop of the hands in the end from Matty Payne.
That's
I'm
fair.
Not sure, but,
it was a mark and or free kick regardless for Josh Hall.
Jack Stanley need to be a bit closer to his opponent there. He just gave him 5 metres, and you mentioned he's an athlete. You don't give an athlete 5 metres start.
No, he's a former national high jumper. He can jump, not a problem. From 45, he can kick too. That's a ripper from Josh Hall. And he's put the Sharkies in front by a point. 7-12-54 Aspley, 6-19 Southport, 55. That was a beautiful kick of the football when you consider it, and it showed that breeze has died down a little bit too, Bob, because earlier on in the day that would have been pushed to the left goalpost.
Yeah, no, it really has died off, hasn't it? And, yeah, good shot from Josh Hall. Was given far too much space from his opponent and ran, jumped at the footy. I think got the chop of the hands free kick and put it through. So, as I said, whoever's going to take their opportunities in this last quarter is going to come away with the precious 4 points. But don't rule Aspley out. They've attacked a few times and they just can't seem to finish it off up forward. But still time to go.
Yeah, plenty of time left to go. We've only played 13 and a half minutes of the final quarter here at Voxson. 5, tackled by Dawson, ball stuck underneath. Umpire's going to come in and do it again. Matt Payne's now leading all comers with 26 disposals for Aspley, 5 rebound 50s, 22 to James Ives, 17 to Daniel Henderson, and 16 apiece to Ben Warren and Lonnie Hampton. Ben Warren make that 17. It's cut off there by Seb Tape. For Southport, 24 disposals to Matt Shaw. Tyler Ruse is up to 19. Tom Fields is 16 disposals. So Southport now, they're leading by a point. Back to Clark. He peels one off and just overcooks the kick a bit. Jack O'Shea gets the handball away, but it was good pressure from Ives to spoil it. It falls back into the hands of O'Shea. It's over the back of the pack. Henderson, can he get there? It bounces for him. He's under a bit of pressure, hooks the ball around. Mackenzie Willis leads the charge, drops the mark. Under a lot of pressure from Toy. It's Hall, picks it up, goes one way, then the other, and it gives it to Dale. Good tackling effort from Mason. Aspley, pressure, Gowers, pushing the back, holding the ball. That's a 50-50 call. It's gone the way of Southport. Charlie Ford, inside 50, and it hits somebody that Aspley didn't want them to hit in Matt Shaw. That's an elite disposal. You don't want to bag the umpires, but that's a bit of a flip of the coin, that one,
Yeah,
champion.
it could have gone either way, but he did have prior opportunity.
Correct, he did.
The umpire's correct in that regard, but the way he was tackled looked a little bit over the top. But anyway, Matt Shaw. He's had a brilliant game.
Oh, he's had a brilliant game. 24, 25 disposals now. This could be his second goal from 40 metres. He makes no mistake. Goal umpire didn't move. Goal umpire did not move for Matt Shaw. Southport now extend their lead. 7-19-61. It is now 7 points the margin in favour of the Sharkies over Aspley. And 15.5 gone final term. That really hurt that one, Bob.
Yeah, it certainly did. And it was, again, they just didn't let the footy out of their forward half, Southport. They really worked hard to lock it in. And Aspley, when they do get their chance and run and switch the play, they look menacing. But that was good work and good finish there by Matt Shaw. And I think it was O'Shea that...
Jack O'Shea in the middle of the ground.
That did the work in the middle of the ground and was rewarded with that free kick.
So Matt Shaw kicks the goal that gives Southport the extended lead. Turner now to 5 held up and do it all again in the centre circles. Been an absolute arm wrestle all day. Really competitive game of footy. It's towed off the deck for Southport. Inside 50, Gross has been brilliant all day. Mitch Johnson tackles him into the ground, and that one's called a push in the back. So It's very similar. Garen Groves goes to the outer side. James Ives versus Matt Shaw, the two best on ground as far as I'm concerned. James Ives for Aspley and Matt Shaw for Southport. Ives does well to Payne. Payne now kicks, and cut off there by Jack O'Shea, who's done vitally to cut off that. He's done a couple of really important things the last couple of minutes, Jack O'Shea. Down the outer side, Mackenzie Willis gets rid of Arnold, and it's a good spoiling effort from Jono Giles. Takes it over the boundary line. We'll get a throw in on the outer side. Bob, have Southport got themselves in a chance to break this 7-year hoodoo? They haven't won at this ground for 7 years, Southport.
Yeah, look, they're prime opportunity now, isn't it? You're more than halfway through this last quarter, and it's been hard to kick goals. And Aspley got to kick 2 to the non-scoring end. So going to be difficult for the Hornets to come back, but you wouldn't write them off. 7 points, it's not much in today's football if they can do it clear from the pack.
Absolutely. Need to utilise that pace in the forward line. Ives, handball over the top, Jono Giles. The no-look slap over the back to Reece Toy, who gives it back to Giles. Look, it was inventive, but it took them over the boundary line. We'll get another throw in. Southport awake to it. Southport now with their experience too. They've got the lead. They're setting up nicely. It'll be man on man everywhere. Over the top of both ruckmen. Gowers, who's had a very good second half of this game. Off the hands. Hampton. He got the pace. He got tackled, and the second time was too many. He shrugged one, got in a little bit of space, and the second tackling effort was the one that got him. Tom Miller now with the ball for Southport. Kick to the outer side, spoiled by Craven. Handball by Giles. Comes back to Craven from 50. Chips the ball, top of the square, Freeman. Now this is vital for the Hornets. They're trailing by 7 points. Jono Freeman can bring it back within a point right here. He's kicked a couple today.
Last shot at goals hit the post, so you know whether the confidence levels are high, and they've missed a lot of shots at end, but you would back him from there. He should go in and slot this one and make it a 1-point game.
Jono Freeman, as Kanga likes to say, loves to get doing the arm curls down at the beach for the ladies, and he's gone. Well, I'll tell you what, concentrate less on that and practice the goal kicking, Jono Freeman, because that was not good. 61 plays 55. It's one straight goal, the margin, and another opportunity wasted there for Aspley.
Yeah, they've had 2 opportunities there. Luca Mason probably should have got the handball from Hagan to have a snap at goal, and then he should have kicked that one, Jono Freeman. Oh. But they're really working hard, Aspley.
Oh, there's no doubt about the intent. Jed Turner dived on the ball. He's being held. Umpires circling, and no. Will be a ball up on the commentary wing. One straight goal the margin. 20 minutes gone. Final term, NEAFL TV round 2 at Voxson Oval through our broadcast partner Bar TV. A cracking game for you today. Giles dives in over the top of Mackenzie Willis and holds it up, so we'll get a ball up only a couple of metres away from the last one. Wouldn't be long quarters. They haven't been scoring enough to make it very long quarters here. Spencer to Boston, who's been hammered all day by both Batchelor and Liam Dawson. Oh, Hampton puts the pace on. Had a handball with Billy Murphy over the top. Went for the pass to Freeman. Freeman's got a 2-on-1. And Southport are going to try and manufacture this to the boundary line. Murphy worries his opponent off the ball. Ruse does beautifully. Hampton again through traffic. Knife through Butterstuff. Now it comes through. Luca Mason gets it back to Batchelor. Murphy from 10 metres and has kicked a goal. And he's put Aspley level with Southport.
Wow, what a finish. As I said, their pace has really worried Southport. And Lonnie Hampton was the one. He looked a bit of Velcro there, the way he sliced through. And you mentioned it like butter through hot toast. And he actually has really given them a spark the last 3 or 4 minutes. And that boy Murphy has got some leg speed as well. And that's when they look at their most dangerous, when they've got those real pacey little fellas like Gowers and Henderson and Hampton. All these guys really show some leg speed. And that's worried Southport all day. And another point each and we'd be level.
Exactly right. 8-13-61, 7-19-61. We are all level here at Voxon. 21 and a half gone of the final quarter. Now it's with Williams for Southport. Ruse, handball to Fife. Fife gets it over to Mentha, can't control it. Payne tackles him, worries him out of it. Now he dumps him into the ground. Umpire says, we'll ball it up. Every possession and every contest vital here, Bob.
It'll be the experienced players that will put the hand up here, I'm sure.
Spencer gets it down. Dawson, handball to Toy. Toy to Payne. There's experience for you. Kicks it inside 50. Will it bounce for Freeman? It does. Handball over the top. Hagan. Hagan from 45 wheels around and he doesn't hit Hampton. He has to play on. He's got time. He's got pace. Now Hagan hooks it to the top of the square. The big man. It falls at the foot of the pack. Picked up by Warren. Handball there. Southport will get out of this. Williams, it's going to be with Mackenzie Willis. He can't get it back to Williams. Yes, he does. It's lobbed up. Dawson. Oh, Mentha. Great contest, the little fella. Brought the ball to ground and destroyed two players at the same time. Jed Turner, handball now to Ruse. Ruse has a bounce. He's got all the time in the world. Mitch Johnson. What a contest from young Jack Mentha there, Bob. He destroyed two Aspley players and brought the ball to ground.
And they were twin towers. I think he got hold of Jakey Spencer was one of them that he got, or Liam. No, it was Liam Dawson, that's right. Liam Dawson, and he really just jackknifed in mid-air, and he looks a bit ginger as he comes off.
He would be hurting.
Here's a chance here for Mitch Johnson to put the Sharks 1 goal clear in this 7-year drought game.
So Mitch Johnson, he's kicked 3. He kicked 5 last week. He's had plenty of attempts today. Late in the final quarter. Scores are deadlocked. Mitch Johnson pops it up. And that's as straight as a die. They all get around him too inside 50. So it's the Sharks by 1 straight goal. 8-19-67 to Aspley 8-13-61. 23 and a half gone. Won't be a long quarter, but there's still time if good enough for Aspley.
Yeah, look, they had a real big chance there, didn't they, Aspley, when they went forward. It looked like Lonnie Hampton just about cramped the way he'd been running. He was running on all cylinders there and had the footy. Could have nearly snapped and at least got a score on the board to put him in front, but the ball dropped short. And Reece Clark and Jordan Taylor, the work they did back there to withstand that pressure was magic. And you hit it on the head. Jack Mentha's contest here on the wing really set that up.
Young bloke in his first game of football for the club at such a vital moment there. Really stepped up. Well played. So it's Turner. Slapped it forward now. Fife inside 50. This could be dangerous. It's Clements at the true centre-half forward position. Any score would basically do this for Southport now, methinks, Bob.
Yeah, there's not going to be long on the clock. It's probably been 4 goals kicked for the quarter, so...
So Rob Clements launches into it, gets a long one off the hands of Gavin Gross, and his score, as I say, that 1 point is a handy behind, so it's 8-20-68. It's a 7-point margin. Played 24 and a half of the final term. Gavin Gross, long left foot. Walber's the target. Gets it down to ground level. Williams can't pick it up. Gowers can. Promotes it forward. Mackenzie Willis with the flight and taking it nicely there. Tom Fields. He's done a very good job today in defence, has Tom Fields.
Good second half, hasn't he? He was fairly quiet early, but I've liked his second half. He's worked into the game.
Long kick, 50. Walbers now. Templeton, dangerous kick, but gets it to Giles in the middle of the ground. They have to get a wriggle on. Giles. That's a long kick. He's going to have to really go Stackelberg. Oh, and it's a Bradbury situation. Last one standing. Hampton gets the handball away. Great work from Boston. And Murdoch comes away. He chips it up. Seb Tape. Now he gets it there to Turner. Turner, the wobbly left footer in the Johnson direction. Gross directs it down to ground level. Johnson toes it. Charlie Ford off the deck. It hits Matt Payne on the chest. Ben Warren, he's got real estate aplenty. He's in the middle of the ground. 1 bounce. He has 2. He kicks it. That inexplicably, like a Gaelic footballer trying to kick it to himself, it went to Andrew Boston a metre away. Boston. He's had a tough day at the office today. Gets it to the outer side, and he's going to steady it down with Clements. Chips it inside to Josh Williams. Oh, that was a golden chance there for Aspley. No free kick there, the umpire said. Eventually, That's a very slow whistle. The free kick will go to Jordan Taylor wearing the headgear.
What was he thinking there?
Ben Warren.
Oh, unbelievable. He had space, as you mentioned. Could have had that much real estate, and he virtually kicked it to himself.
There you go, Mitch Johnson off the ground. Oh, and misses. So Mitch Johnson, he's kicked 4 goals, 3 today.
And probably a couple of other misses as well, I would have thought.
It's a couple out in the full, perhaps. As Aspley come down the wing. Oh, good spoiling effort, Seb Tape. No, it wasn't, sorry. It was George Brodie Murdoch. Came across, and he embraces Seb Tape. They do look reasonably similar. One's got black boots, one's got white, but we won't go through
both similar
that.
builds, aren't they? He's been good today. I've liked his game. He was very good early when they were really under the pump, 4 goals to 1. So, good game.
Now it's Mackenzie Willis to half forward. Well done again from Payne in the back line. Takes the mark, plays on. Warren. He's got the run of Billy Gowers. Gowers now to Dawson. Dawson recovered from that knock. Billy Murphy. He turns around, measures a pass. Freeman. He's got him from 45. He's got very little time left on the clock. 27 and a half gone of this final term. Southport lead by 8 points. Jono Freeman, 2 goals, 3 today.
Yeah, got to kick this one though. Haven't got time for, a miss here. They need this one and back to the centre and a quick clearance.
He's going to have to let this go from right on 50. He does so. It starts right and it gets even righter. That's not a bad result, to be honest with you. It stays down there to some degree. But out of bounds on the full. 69 plays 61. Aspley chances.
They've had their chances, haven't they? The couple gone begging. We mentioned the Ben Warren one. We had the certainly the Lonnie Hampton opportunity, and then that one there.
Walbers and Turner. Well done to Templeton, who showed flashes of things today I quite like.
Yeah, very good game from Templeton.
Across half forward now. Luca Mason gets there first, gets dragged off it. Warren, handball over the top. Jack Stanley, now Craven. Craven smothered off his boot. He gets it back. Southport defence absolutely desperate, doing it well. Clark. Oh, Baru. He's got some real estate now. He's got Payne chasing him. He's got Mitch Johnson at the back. Mitch Johnson played on. Why would you play on? You're leading by 8 points. Why would you play on? Incredible. Gives Aspley a sniff. I can't believe that. Billy Gowers chips it forward. It's a 2-on-1. Ball hits the deck. Tyler Roos, well done. Good tackling effort from Hagan. Ball spills. Jed Turner. Now it's with Freeman. Freeman, sky ball. Left foot. Murphy flies for Aspley. Gets over the top there of Miller. And there's the siren to end a 7-year hoodoo. Southport have not won at this ground for the best part of a decade, but they have today. 8-21-69. Aspley, 8-13-61, 8 points the final margin. Players out on their feet. Monumental physical game of football here at Voxson Oval for round 2, Bob Batty. Some of the errors, well, you can sort of put them away because that was a contest.
Yeah, both sides absolutely spent. You have a look at the victors. They'll be walking on water a little bit, but both sides haven't got anything left in their legs. You summed it up with that scoreline, 16 goals, 34 between the two teams, and there was probably a few others that went out of bounds from both sides as well. So, not a very good conversion rate, but, well, what a great contest it was. And Aspley lost no admirers today with their effort. Their coach, I'm sure, will be buoyed by the way they attacked the footy and the way that they played. They had some good players throughout the contest, but well done to Southport to break a 7-year hoodoo of not winning here at Aspley. It's a tough ground to win. They came away victors, and it sets their season up beautifully. They're 2 from 2, reigning premiers, and they're looking pretty good for season 2019.
You'd have to say so. Matt Shaw is the leading possession winner for Southport. 25 disposals. He had 5 inside 50s, but 6 rebound 50s, so covering the ground everywhere. Kicked 2 goals, 1 as well. Tyler Roos finished the game very strongly with 22 disposals. Josh Williams, you said a couple of times, Bob, we like the look of the way he goes about it. 7 inside 50s. He also had 20 disposals. Fields with 18. And Lee Dale with 17. Got to give a special mention to Andrew Boston, who finished with 15 disposals. He had the 4 clearances as well, But he was very heavily marked, hardly had a touch in the first half, but really came back, and I thought he showed a lot of grit and a lot of determination under a lot of duress to come back and be an influence in that final term. For Aspley, though, Matt Payne, the triple MVP, 30 disposals in the end. He was brilliant in the second half of that game. He had 6 rebound 50s, 4 inside 50s for 30 disposals. James Ives, 24 disposals for Aspley from the start of the game. He was very good. Ben Warren, Lonnie Hampton with 7 inside 50s. They both had 20 disposals. And Daniel Henderson finished the game very strongly with 18 disposals as well and 6 rebound 50s. Bob, it was one of those games that either team, if they had taken their chances, how do you see their season moving forward after this one?
Yeah, well, look, they've had some new players blooded in this first couple of weeks, and look, William Murphy gives them plenty up forward, doesn't he? He's a real little dynamo. Tom Templeton, I liked his game. Liam Dawson did a great job on El Mucho. He did a very good stopping role. He'll get better as the season goes on. And Michael Hagan did some nice things as well. So, look, I like their effort and their grunt from Jono Giles, and you mentioned Daniel Henderson and Jasper Craven, young fellas that are really starting to really improve as they get further into their NEAFL, I suppose, their opportunities. But look, it was a gutsy effort. They really tried hard. They didn't finish well. Certainly they had opportunities to get right back in and have a winning chance, but in the end it was Southport. They've had 8 more scoring shots and won by 8 points, so I suppose it would have been unlucky to Luther contributed throughout the day. But look, it was a game that could have gone either way. Congratulations to both teams on their attitude and their application, and I think Southport are in for a real good year, and Aspley have got to bounce back after a couple of losses.
Now, I asked you about Aspley just quickly on Southport. Premiership defence, they've lost a couple of players, they've gained a couple of players as well. We like the look of a couple of the new ones, like your Jamison Shea from Footscray in the VFL, adding to that mix as well. I just want to give a special mention to a young bloke who probably didn't have too many touches, but I think the kind of contest that young Jack Mentha provided just in front of us in the last couple of minutes was indicative of the way Southport bring their footballers through. He is a young bloke playing in his debut game. He's come up here for a bit more of a shot at furthering his football from Bell Park in Victoria. He's 20 years old. That act, I think, almost won him the game.
Yeah, it turned the game, didn't it? It could have gone either way. The ball could have got rebounded and gone up to Aspley's forward line, and they had a shot at goal. So, no, it was a great effort. And look, they had Jack O'Shea did some things like that all day too. He did some great little desperate things. All the young players, Charlie Ford, they had some players that really contributed, not with a great lot of football, but at least contributed to their win. So, well done to them. I do like the way they've recruited. Tom Fields will look better as he gets a bit more experience at NEAFL level. Jamison Shea didn't have a great day, but I think he shows enough to really provide some spark. Mackenzie Willis and Matt Shaw are great recruits. And look, let's not forget that they had Michael Mantide out today. He's a dynamo for them in the midfield. And a young fella from Tassie or Launceston, Jake Hines, who's been topping up for the Suns. He'll become a good player at this level too, I'm sure.
Be interesting. I think he's having a game tomorrow for the Suns as well. All right then, Bob Batty, the Encyclopedia of Queensland Footy. Thanks very much for another great day, mate. Appreciate your help.
Good on you, Michael. It was good to be here.
And at Voxson Oval here at Aspley, Southport broke a 7-year hoodoo. Haven't been winners here for the best part of a decade. 8 goals, 21-69, and they have defeated Aspley 8-13-61. 8 points the margin. Michael Price on behalf of NEAFL TV through our broadcast partners, Bar TV. We'll look forward to seeing you next time. Oh,